duo.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ryan came up with the nickname yesterday for our co-ed softball team, the Flow Bros.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna be the Flow Bros.
Dude, you guys are growing out your hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying.
I was gonna
to.
cut it, but I'm gonna leave it
It's
until
not gonna
after.
be as long as Tanner's, but
You're not gonna do the G-Eazy hair anymore?
no.
You get over it.
I haven't really had a haircut in a minute. I mean, it's
When was the
just
last
kind
time
of
you
been
had your hair?
raggedy. What's that?
When was the last time you cut your hair?
I mean, cut, but I mean, it was just buzzed, and I haven't been going for any look, but I think I'm gonna go for the actual ponytail, not the man bun or the top knot or anything.
no,
There you
fuck
go.
the top knot. I don't want to.
Dude, that top knot shit drives me crazy when there's a little
I
fucking
used to
knot.
have one, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Well, I don't want to talk shit on you.
Yeah,
but-
everybody said mine was good, and I had girls compliment me, but
Your
dude,
top knot, like it wasn't bad, but like it didn't annoy me. Some people's top knots, I just see them, I just want to go fucking cut them off.
Yeah,
Pull my
just
pocket knife out, just.
I know, especially
Scalped,
the ones
bitch.
where it's like they can barely get it to where it rolls over, and so it's like barely hanging on. It's like, what the hell do you got
Or
going on up there?
I saw one where the dude had it so long where he had it like waterfalled over the top and then peacock fanned out the back.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm going to cut your fucking top knot off right now.
because that's not really a man bun. Like they
But the
call
pun-
it a
yeah.
man bun, but it's like if the sides are buzzed, I'm gonna call it a top knot.
No,
'cause
no,
that
he
was
pulled
more
all his-
samurai.
He pulled all his
Right.
hair up in, like he didn't have the sides buzzed. He just pulled it like it was shorter but not buzzed, and then
Okay.
just slicked back, and then waterfalled over into like a peacock feathering in the back. Problem was the dude's like 6'5", and he was a
Yeah, don't fuck
shot
with
put discus thrower.
him. Yeah, don't fuck with
That
him.
had Sam's
Sound-
track meet. I was so tempted. I kept looking at him. I'm gonna fucking cut it off. I looked at Sam. I'm gonna fucking cut off his top knot. He goes, "Dude's gay." He's going for that
Yeah,
one. I was
okay,
like,
yeah,
"Fuck!"
exactly. So don't cut it out.
It
I
pisses
mean,
me off though, dude.
Yeah, but hey, dude, maybe he's getting a lot of guys that way. Can't
He's
hate on his
peacocking, maybe.
style.
Yeah, he's peacocking the dude.
Yeah,
Straight-
exactly.
He's
Dude,
strutting
straight up
around.
peacocking.
Dude,
He's showing his fucking fan off, dude.
Yeah, I was
Showing
thinking
the fan
I
off.
was thinking about this today. How like kind of awkward would that be? Kind of like if you got a sibling, you're like, oh yeah, my brother's boyfriend's over. Just kind of like that statement, like, oh, my brother's girlfriend's over. Like you're used to that, but then getting into the statement of like, oh yeah, my brother's boyfriend's over. Somebody doesn't
Yeah.
know, they're like, wait, brother's boyfriend?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, their boyfriend's over, but you only have a, oh shit, your brother's gay, and they didn't know it. And you're like, oh fuck, you didn't know he's gay?
That would be super awkward.
Right
But-
at first, like getting used to it.
But yeah, exactly. As soon as like the first time was over, it'd be like, oh well.
Yeah.
Well, like hearing like Delaney's girlfriend, I'm like, oh, that's normal. But I've known she's been lesbian before she had like girlfriends and stuff. So it's like, oh, Delaney's hanging out with her girlfriend. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Dude, you know who I thought was going to end up gay? I don't think you know him. You might know him. And Devin Gambo, or not Devin Gambo, Devin Corona. Dude, I thought that
Oh.
kid was going to be gay in high school. This
Yeah.
kid, all he did was hang out with girls. Like, he
He
didn't
is.
really have that many male good friends. He was a nice guy, so he was
Right.
friends with a lot of guys, but it wasn't like he was close with any of them.
He just
He was
hung
like
out with
homies
them.
with them.
He was
in
like
the
Paul
sense of,
Rudd
like,
in that one.
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Fuck. What's that movie with Jason?
Yes,
Segel?
man.
Yes, man. No, not yes.
No,
man.
no,
It
no,
was the
not Yes
slap
Man.
of the bed.
Slap-
Yeah, yes,
I love- no, I love
I
you,
always
man.
think it's yes, man.
It's I Love You Man.
I
Love
love you,
You,
man.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
So he was I Love You Man.
I
Yeah.
love you, man. Yeah. He was the I love you man, but no.
dude, kid hits freaking college, all of a sudden goes to the gym, and now girls are just all over him.
Yeah,
he's
just
bi-
slaying.
he's bisexual.
Is he?
Mm-hmm.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Well, good for him.
It's cool, dude.
That makes sense, though.
But I think
always
he's like,
figured.
because basically
Depends
right
who's
now,
pitching.
well, mostly he's like hanging out with dudes lately. So I'm thinking, like Tristan's the one who like brought this to my attention, like because she hangs out with him, like that was one of
Maybe
the
he's just throwing
girlfriends.
bait out in the water. Whoever wants to come and get it, he's down with it.
Well, it's pretty much
exactly.
like I'm bisexual. I could go both ways, but
Oh,
I
for
mostly
sure.
am hanging out with dudes right now. So it's like, hey, I'm transitioning. You guys like accepting me as gay.
Okay.
Could be the thing. I don't know if that's what it is.
Well,
but
that's
that's the
what-
vibe I'm getting.
That's
Which
what
is
my
cool,
buddy
dude.
did.
Yeah.
I mean, he like hooked up with girls and shit in high school,
Okay.
and then he just started like kind of just hanging out with dudes more and more, and then you know,
Gotcha.
then that's
Dude.
when he finally came out.
Right. And if you were like that your whole life, but like the society and the culture, you felt the need to actually go for the sex that you didn't want. I wonder how that would be like.
Yeah.
Living. You know what I mean? For
Yeah,
that long as a
exactly.
kid, like I would feel really bad for that kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God I've always liked girls and I'll stay liking girls. But it's like, dude, I just couldn't imagine if I had liked guys, but I felt like I needed to like girls or whatever.
Society-
you
or
know
like-
what I mean?
Someone in your family wouldn't accept you, or like you'd be shunned
Oh,
from your family.
I mean, the good thing is my family's pretty
They're open.
Yeah, they're super open-minded. But at the same time, they've told me if I ever did turn out gay, they'd be worried because it'd just suck.
Right.
You know, it'd be a harder life. I don't think that's the way anymore. I think
Not so much.
right. I think
culture we're going
America's
towards.
opening up and the rest of the world.
But sometimes like gay partnerships are like really weird, you know.
They-
As far as like them staying together and stuff, just like from my buddies' experiences, like it's hard for them to like stay together for some reason.
That I
and
can
I don't,
definitely see.
I don't get that.
Well, I mean, I feel like it's just a new thing. So it's like
it's a normal relationships are like that too.
Well, I guess
Right.
the way I would think about it would be kind of think, okay, you've grown up most of the way like going like I have to like girls, and but I've never really liked girls, but that's kind of like what everyone thinks I should like and what I should like, but I don't. And then so in middle school, you would run through girlfriends. Like high school, you like, oh, we dated for like 3 months. Over next one, and then so maybe that's how it is. Like, well, this is actually what I like. I'm
They're
just now
just
kind of getting into it.
transitioning.
Yeah, they're transitioning to like, okay, let me have a bunch of relationships with people I
Right.
actually like and want to be with,
right, and then
and
they'll figure
attracted
out
to
the
'em.
long term.
and then the long haul comes later. But it's a very new thing overall culturally.
Yeah. Exactly, dude.
All right, well, enough gay people.
We
for a little
didn't
while.
even
Let's
introduce
get on
Jake
to the
because we
subject.
did this Joe Rogan style.
Yeah. So our guest today is Jake Means, the man right here, dude. Glad
How's
to
it
have you
going?
on. How was
Thanks for
Park
having me.
City, by the way, dude?
Oh yeah.
Dude,
We had to cancel
amazing.
last Friday
Right,
because you're
I'm
in
sorry,
Park City.
guys.
That's
Sorry
cool.
about that.
Or 2 Fridays ago,
Park City called, yeah.
dude. Well, when you texted me, I was like,
That's more.
I'm kind of bummed because like we set it up, but at the same time, it'd be fucked up of me to be like, dude, no, you got to be at the podcast. We're never coming back.
Well, dude, and I
off.
would have done it, and we
No.
could have gone another time, but
Dude, Park
Spencer
City
and
called.
Tanner, yeah, they were going out this weekend with their dad they're down in Arizona right now watching the Giants.
Yeah.
Spring training. That's
so-
fucking. I want to do that one
Yeah,
of those times.
so it was like we had to get it done. So
Well, that's
before
why I was
the
like,
snow
you know
started
what?
melting.
Hey, dude, just go to Park City, have fun. It's not like we can't
I
reschedule.
appreciate
We
you
can always
guys'
have somebody else
understanding.
come on. We can figure it out.
We just
Go
had
from
our Mr. Reliable Timmy come on.
there. No, we didn't. We
Yeah,
were
we did.
supposed to have Reliable Tinning 2 weeks ago.
Oh, this is
Last
2 weeks
week was
ago?
when I was up in Tahoe. 2 weeks ago when we had our
That's
super
right.
last
that's right.
minute one. Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
So no, you're good. I mean, it was like, hey, dude, he's gotta be in Park City. It's chill.
Right.
Like you get the
That's my
opportunity. It's like, hey, man, I get to go to this. This is gonna be more fun than like a podcast for 2 hours. Like it's gonna be fun, but I'm gonna be
Yes,
shredding some
exactly.
fucking nuts.
I knew I was going to enjoy this, and I was really excited for it. But have you ever been to Park City?
I haven't, dude. Well, that's why.
Yeah.
Are you pulling up pics?
Yeah, pull that
It's
shit up so
beautiful.
we can see some runs. Tell us what you hit, dude.
Well,
Oh fuck.
so they have this one massive run right in the middle, and it's
The
their
one that's
major
lit up?
park. Yeah,
Okay.
it's their major park. It's got their super pipe, all that good stuff.
Whoa.
We went to the park and then decided that we were not going to hit a feature because we were not skilled enough to get on top of any of them.
Right.
You're
Dude,
like,
they're
I'm
all like,
good, but I'm not that good.
Yeah,
That's like some
exactly.
Sean White shit.
right.
dude.
So we went through that, and then honestly, like this is just barely. I mean, I would say maybe a eighth of the park. It just keeps going and going and going
Oh,
that
no
way.
shit.
And
All those
going
lights
and
up
going
there?
this way. Yeah.
Oh shit. So it's like heavenly essentially.
Yeah, it's huge.
Where like
dude.
you go up to Heavenly and it's like you drive to South Lake and you're by the casino and you're like, oh, this is Heavenly, that's the gazebo, and all of a sudden like you look at the map if everyone's ever gone,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, you are here. The gazebo takes you up, but then there's another lift up top
there,
here, but
and
then
then
there's a
there.
Nevada lift, and then there's a.
They say it takes like
California.
2 days to like fully like ski or
Yeah,
something.
so I
Exactly.
mean, there's fucking Heavenly, and you got the gondola, and everyone
No,
thinks
that's Park
City. That's Park
or that's
City.
Park City. But that's just like the same setup as Heavenly is.
Yeah, it's very close.
Yeah.
The
Damn.
only thing is it's more. It's you're right at the base when you park. That's the nice thing. So you walk right onto the resort instead of having to shuttle there like North Star or anything
Right.
like that. So
Yeah.
That's cool, dude.
So it's like you're at like Rose, where you basically park, you get out, and you're going
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
lodge.
You're already
and shit.
hitting
Like your
lifts.
lift,
Right.
you can see the lift from the park.
Yeah.
right. And so with we have the Tahoe local pass, which
Oh, the Epic Pass.
the Epic Pass, yeah.
Yeah.
So we have North Star, Heavenly, and Kirkwood, but you
It's
get
all,
5 days.
The Vail Resorts.
Right.
So a company, you know about this?
Vail.
It's a company that is called Vail. They own all of these resorts for the Epic Pass. So basically,
Oh,
you're paying
shit.
Vail, who owns it, and you get access to all the resorts they own.
Right.
Oh fuck.
Exactly.
That's
So,
crazy.
but then they have certain ones, like this one's called the Tahoe Local, which just is for Kirkwood, Heavenly, and North Star because that's, the Sierra ones that are in the area. But you get 5 free days to Park City, Breckenridge, Vail, Colorado. A ton of them, dude. They
Wow.
own so many. And
So
then
that
they
one
bought
company owns all these just like
tons of them.
crazy ass resorts.
Oh, the
Well,
best in the country.
Yeah,
too.
because think about it, they're in Colorado. They own Vail.
Right.
So then why would they not own, like, the only one that they don't
They
like
just
own
buy
that they
it.
would want is probably Squaw. But that's an
Right.
Olympic park.
They're
so
trying.
they can't really,
I'm
like,
sure they're trying to get it.
Yeah,
Squad
there's
just
big money
combined
in
with-
that shit.
Yeah, they just
Way
combined
more,
with
yeah.
Alpine though, and so. good luck
Oh,
getting
really?
They
that.
got Alpine Meadows. And
Yeah, dude,
isn't
they're-
that part of Kirkwood now?
No, so no, so it's still north. It definitely spans a lot farther. They're now the biggest resort in the Sierras, by like I want to say 1,000 acres or something like that.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Whoa.
6,000+ acres on that place.
God damn.
Yeah, but Vail owns the only ones they own are in the area are North Star, Kirkwood, and Heavenly. I'm sure they're trying to get Mammoth and Squaw because why not? They're
Yeah,
amazing.
Mammoth is a huge one.
Right.
I'm sure they're probably trying to get Mountain City down in Southern California.
Yeah, or
It's the Bear.
Bear Resort.
Bear Resort, yeah.
Yeah, Bear City or whatever it is.
It's like they have like their own like park is like Mountain City, but the
Mhm.
whole resort's like Bear something.
right.
Yeah.
Bear Mountain. I don't know.
Yeah,
Whatever
something
it
like
is. Right. But
People who are down there like it's fucking this, you idiot.
right, exactly. But anyway, so yeah, they have a ton of resorts. They just bought 5 more out of the country, so they got a ton of Canadian resorts. They're just
Oh,
trying to
shit, dude.
sweep.
Whoa.
Yeah, they're trying to buy.
They're just trying to own everything.
They're
Yeah.
basically gonna try and monopolize all of like the 5-star type resorts.
Right.
Runs consistently, get snow.
Oh yeah.
Get this.
How was the snow up there? Was it?
Up there, it was really bad all season. I mean, they make really good snow. North Star, their groom team is SPT, which is, I don't know what it stands for, but I know that they do a lot of the X Games stuff and all that.
Oh
Yeah.
So,
shit!
yeah, they have
So
nice
legit.
grooming. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're legit. But then when it snowed, I heard it was really nice. So,
Yeah,
I didn't
it
get to
snowed
go
for
up there.
2 days straight up there.
right, and I didn't get to go up there this last weekend because I went on a 7-mile run and hurt my foot. But that's about to get better. And yeah, you guys remember the injury from softball?
Yeah, dude.
And
That's still nagging at you.
Well, it wasn't that bad. I was getting it a
That was the
lot
first
better.
game, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, blew out your
And,
ankle on first.
Yeah, dude, it was bad. But anyway, yeah, 7-mile run, dude. 6.9 miles felt great, and I was hucking it, and then right at the very end, and it was like, son of a
Just one of those
gun.
ones where you're getting a little tired and the foot rolls out just a little bit, and
Just
you
a
put
little.
all the pressure to push. Oh
Yeah.
fuck!
Exactly. So limped home, and I was like, son of a bitch.
Fucking day one, here we go again.
Right, and then couldn't go snowboarding, which that was the biggest bummer.
Yeah.
Especially right now with the season we had, like right at the tail end.
Right, exactly. We had a terrible season.
Super
Finally
late
get
winter.
snow, and then I can't go. But it's all good.
But at least, I mean, it's supposed to snow what, Thursday, Friday?
Mm-hmm.
So then you can shoot up Saturday or
Mhm.
Friday and then go up there
Right.
with the snow and everything. That's gonna be a good day though too.
There's still
Right.
probably decent snow up there too, even though it's been sunny and kind of warm.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be surprised
It's
though,
gonna
like
stick.
on the mountains it's sticking, but everywhere like down low it's kind of melting off a lot. Because like when I was up there last weekend in South Lake, everything like on the roads was pretty much like melted off
Mhm.
by Sunday.
Sure.
But it's just because it was super warm. It was
Right.
like 55.
But resorts do a good job of finding the super shadowy type mountains, the runs that are all shaded, so that way they stay.
Oh,
stay
Yeah,
away.
or they groom it to where like it only gets so much sunlight through this portion, but like good quarter of the run's gonna be
So they
covered
got
in
it, like,
shade
down
by the
the-
time the day goes over. It's still sunny outside, but the run is still covered by a bunch of trees.
Right,
Oh, okay.
Way more
That
science
makes sense.
into it than you think.
right. Well, they
I haven't
need to.
skater
It's a
boarded in
$1
fucking
million
forever.
$1 million, industry.
Oh,
Millions
yeah.
of dollars.
Well, and then old roommate Paulson, he's now working up at North Star as a mechanic. So he works on all because he used to work at Piston Bully,
Okay,
who made all of the cat groomers.
nice.
So like all
So
the
he
like
just knows.
Cadillac groomers for like he would make them for Olympics, for X Games. Like Piston Bully was like one of the huge sponsors that did all the grooming and everything for that.
Right.
So he worked on that, and now he's working at North Star as like one of their lead mechanics.
Oh yeah.
Dude, good for him, man.
Yeah, there's good money up there, dude. I worked up there last year for Boreal. It was really fun, but living down here, working up there, and the snow season we had last year was crazy. It was a record-setting year. So.
It was a good year to work up there.
It was, but at the same time, when you're driving a PT Cruiser, it's kind of tough to get up there. But it was really fun. It was so
much
much
sounds
fun.
like fucking Gator from baseball.
Oh, dude, and it's getting so bad, dude. But I'm gonna get a new car as soon as it blows up. So yeah,
dude. Yeah. Let me know when it's on its like last legs. Remember, we're gonna treat it like that Gator and just fucking mob it.
Oh,
Remember?
dude, I'm gonna once it won't start again, I'm gonna find a way to get it to start one more time, and we're gonna take it off a jump and just.
That's what my buddy Clay did with his fucking old Subaru.
Oh shit.
He just took it like he was already gonna get what are those WRXs?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was gonna get one of those. So he took his old Subaru just out in the desert, just fucking like buried it basically.
Jesus, that's awesome.
And left it out there. I'm pretty sure.
Probably. Yeah, fucking probably.
I mean,
Walked
why would
home.
you bring it back? Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's not gonna run.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He fucked it up, dude. Like the tires came off and all kinds of fucking shit.
Jesus, that's awesome.
So
I want to take it off a cliff, a small cliff that I can live. But.
Dude, you just gotta take
I'm
it out
pushing
the
my
pyramid.
Jeep into Pyramid Lake, dude.
It won't make it to here, but like, well, that's what I say. Is like, you just gotta have like swimsuit on, windows down, and then just bomb it off a cliff where you know you're gonna land in the water.
Yeah.
But brace
But
for
I'd
the
be,
impact.
dude, I'd be so worried about the impact because if
Yeah.
it knocked you out,
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you
Become
gotta
a water baby.
right?
You gotta do it where it's like maybe a 10-foot drop off. Like,
Yeah.
like you know, like where you're going. If you go down, like you're going to Nixon Beach, down that way. If you're going north, so you come on Pyramid, and then you can keep shooting straight,
Right.
out, or you're going south. You keep going north, but then it comes to that weird Y, like the T,
Yeah.
and you hook it back that way.
Okay.
There's like a good few like cliff spots where maybe if you get enough gas, you fucking just right in.
Hell yeah. Well,
So definitely you got scouted out. Okay,
Yeah.
how's my drop off?
I'm guessing, are there guardrails?
No.
Oh.
Just
Dude,
blows
it's
through
like a
that
pyramid
like
lake,
fucking
man.
Dirty
Pyramid,
Harry,
bro.
dude.
Yeah, that's true. They don't give a
Dirty Harry,
shit.
that shit just blow right
Dude,
through.
how have we not had thousands of drunk people drive into that fucking lake? Dude?
I know, seriously. Because they're like, where's the beach? It's getting kind of dark over
Yeah,
here.
exactly.
You probably have, but we never hear about it because it's all the Indians living on the reserve.
Mhm.
Just going, what the fuck?
I love that
Just-
freaking lake.
Fucking peyote out of their skull.
Dude, have you
dude.
seen their tow truck service like ad?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a bunch of girls in bikinis pushing like a bus
Oh,
out of the
that's
sand,
awesome, dude.
and they go need a tow.
God damn it, dude. That lake is so fucking weird.
It's different. I don't enjoy actually camping there. I enjoy party camping
Yeah,
there.
I enjoy being drunk there and
Yeah,
fishing there. That's
yeah.
about it.
There's once in a while where the lake is super calm and it's a really nice day.
Yeah,
and
but
it's
then it's
awesome wakeboarding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's eerie, though, when it's like that.
Oh,
dude.
and as
It's
soon
like
as it
you
hits
get a
twilight,
weird
you're
feeling.
like, yeah. As soon as
Yeah.
twilight comes, you're
I
like,
always
let's
get a weird
off
feeling,
this
though.
lake.
Because like if you go actually camping there and it gets that eerie kind of calm where you just get the little bit of waves crashing in, but then you have like the full moon and shit, and it's calm and it's at night. You're like, fuck, dude, this might be the night that someone comes and murders me.
Did I tell you about that time that me and CJ stole beer from an ex-convict
Yeah,
in high school?
you didn't tell Jake that.
That's a great. That's a
Yeah.
great idea.
Yeah, so this was in high school, and that was like, obviously, I'm sure you guys, that was like the party place during Memorial, right? So everyone's out there, and no, I take it back. It was Cinco de Mayo weekend. So me and CJ are out there, and I meet CJ, and he's like, "Hey man, whatever." And then he goes, "Yeah, our neighbor is an ex-convict. I guess he beat the fuck out of his wife, almost killed her, and he just got released today, so he's celebrating." So I'm like, "Awesome, cool." And this dude is like alone, right? He's
By
alone
himself.
in a tent with fucking just like cases of like 36 racks.
What
So-
a way to celebrate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He
So
got all that
um,
money that was in his wallet, he goes 36 racks.
yeah,
please."
here you go. And
gonna
it's
need
later in
help
the
out to my
night, and
car.
we're starting to run out of beer. So CJ goes, "I know someone who has beer," and I'm like, "CJ, we can't do that, dude. This dude's fucking served time in prison, man.
Right.
We can't do that." So then anyway, he goes, "Fuck it, let's do it." So I'm obviously drunk, so I'm like, "Okay, cool." So we run over and steal the beer from him, and he had sombreros there, and we stole both of his sombreros. and ran back and fucking that was it, dude. Nothing else happened, but it was fucking
sketch because you're just waiting for him to fucking wake up and be like, "Where's my fucking
But
sombrero?"
so someone was driving me, so someone sober. But I guess in the morning he like woke up. It was like, "Where's my Budweiser?" Like that's the first thing he said. And CJ like woke up like by the fire and was just like looking at him, and he was getting all pissed. And then he walks over to CJ and just goes, "Who stole my Budweiser?" And there's a camp next door, and he goes, "I don't know, dude. There's some people fucking around over there in your camp, and I kicked them out. I didn't know they stole anything, though. I thought they were just fucking around in your camp." And the guy walks over, and he just hears yelling, and that's it. And then he walks back just so fucking pissed off, and then he just goes, "Thanks for looking out, man." He goes, they wouldn't admit to it, but I'm pretty sure they took it. You guys are chill dudes.
Sounds about right, man. That's Pyramid.
Little did he know.
I got a gun pulled out on me in Pyramid one time.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's fucking intense.
Yeah. Had a chick that was in the back of my car with me, and she was there with a friend, and, you know, we were fooling around, and I was trying to go farther, obviously. I was drunk as shit.
Right.
Yeah,
And
you're pushing,
she was
you're
down.
drunk, so you're pushing.
But I wasn't pushing it. She was down.
like you're pushing the envelope, like, hey,
Right,
let's
exactly,
fuck,
like, let's
not
fuck.
like
Seeing
fool
how
around.
Right.
far I can go.
Yeah,
type shit,
and then, but her friend comes up, and then it kind of threw her out of the mood, and I got butthurt, because, of course, I was drunk.
right.
And so I'm like, no, fuck off. Get the hell out of here. And she's like, no, she has to come with me. We're leaving, blah, blah, blah. She's
Isn't
coming
that the
with me.
worst, though?
I know. Like, get the fuck out of here, cockblock.
Like,
But-
she's having fun because you're not getting laid. You can hop in on this. If you
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. She was pissed off that she was getting laid and that the other girl wasn't.
And
But
you were like,
anyway.
"Hey, man,
right.
open invitation."
Right. So then, anyway, admittedly, I pushed the other girl, not hard, but she was trying to get in my car.
Give
and
her a
I'm
little
like,
tap.
exactly. I was
Like,
like, yo,
hey,
get
bro,
out.
this
Out.
is
Hey.
my car. Like, just get out.
Yeah, I'll take care of this.
Hey,
And
this
then-
won't take long.
Right.
Get
And then
out
she
in a
ran,
minute.
right, dude. And she ran back to this guy. Dude came up and he was like, motherfucker, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, fuck that. Slammed my door shut. And I'm like, shoot through the fucking car. But god damn it. Dude, I was scared, dude.
So
Yeah.
who was this guy? Like
I
her
haven't-
boyfriend or
yeah,
something? Like
yeah,
that?
it was her
Some
boyfriend.
dude that was
She
out
ran
on
back and she
fuck.
was pissed off that I put hands on her. And understandably so. But still, it was like a love tap, like you said. It was
Just kinda
not
like,
a hard
It was like a
push.
notification.
It was
Right,
just
like,
kind of like
hey.
it wasn't like a shove. It was just kind of like the push of like get you away.
Right.
And I'm
It
shoving
was
the
more,
door.
yeah, exactly. Get out
Yeah.
of my car. It wasn't like a, you know what I mean?
It was like,
So-
"Get the fuck out, bitch."
Right, exactly. And I was trying to be
Yeah.
nice. I'm pretty cordial with women. I try to be a gentleman, but yeah, I was pissed off. And then, yeah, he came up with a gun. It's kind of hazy, but.
The gun part.
Oh, I was
though.
just Taylor Bear.
Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's who was in the car, believe it or not.
Burr.
Yeah, Burr. And and anyway, but yeah, so her friend was still popping off this, that, and the other, and I was just like, dude, leave me the fuck alone. And he's like, yeah, you know, talking shit, and then walked away. I'm sure he was never gonna shoot or anything because guys act tough with guns.
He was
a
just,
lot of
yeah,
times.
exactly. He was
like-
just flexing.
Right,
He was just
exactly.
like, "Yo, I'm ballsy enough to bring a gun." But
Right.
Are you ballsy enough to fucking shoot a gun?
Right,
type thing,
exactly.
yeah.
And people who actually know how to use guns wouldn't be at Pyramid Lake drunk as fuck with
Right.
a gun out. You know
That's
what
the
I mean?
thing. Like, if I go drinking, I'm not gonna bring a gun with me
right,
Period. Yeah.
Right.
at all. If I'm gonna be any form of intoxicated,
right.
I'm not gonna be fucking around with a gun. Like, hey, bro,
Exactly.
dude, check this shit out, man.
Right.
That's how
Exactly.
fucking someone gets shot.
Exactly. That's when
Yeah.
problems arise.
How could this accident have been prevented? Type shit.
Dude, have you heard that one comedian who,
Probably.
fuck, he's the one
Probably.
from, the League.
Oh, John LaJoy?
No, Brian.
Oh,
the one who
Steve
played-
Renazzari or whatever?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
got this stand-up bit where he goes, I was doing like a comedy bit down in LA, but like everything, unlike Reno, closes like at like 2 o'clock.
Right.
So his girlfriend, who's later on his wife, picks him up, and they're dating at the time. He
Oh,
goes,
I've heard this story.
goes,
Yeah.
fucking tacos. So she takes him to like taco or like Del Taco.
Oh
drive-thru.
yeah, I think it was.
And he's like in line, and it closes, like the lights shut down because it's like 3 o'clock. They're like, boom, we're done. Everyone in line's like, what the fuck do we do now? Because they're all drunk,
Yeah.
like a ride. So he goes, Ralph's, the gas station.
Oh.
So he goes there, and he gets out, and the guy like swerves and like almost like hits him, and he just pulls out fingers and just, flips him off. And the dude's like fucking pissed. He goes, fuck off. And
Right.
he goes in the store, gets a bag of chicken, starts eating the bag of chicken, and is just like mounting it down. And the guy comes up like in the window with a gun and goes, motherfucker, you ever fucking do that to me again? He goes, well then fucking shoot. The guy's just like, fuck!
Yeah, exactly.
And then walked away. And then his girlfriend's like, what the fuck was that? And he goes, babe, he wasn't gonna shoot.
And then he went back to eating his chicken.
He went back to eating his chicken.
That's the thing, dude. Like, everybody imagines themselves calling the bluff. You know what I mean? Like, I always imagine myself, like, go ahead and shoot.
Yeah.
Like that.
Like
tough
everyone
guy.
in their head thinks like they're easy eat with a gun.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
I'll kill this motherfucker.
Yeah,
dude.
exactly.
And then like you're there and you're like, I'm not gonna kill this
Exactly.
motherfucker, dude. I would, but I don't want to like go to jail and
Right.
shit with DNA. I
It's
don't want
like-
to do that.
It's complications. You know?
Yeah.
I pulled the
Nine
trigger.
I
times
would
out
have
of
killed
10.
him if there wasn't laws.
As long as there's any mental stability there. Once
Yeah.
they're off the rocker, it's
I
like,
saw the fear in his eyes. I put it away.
Yeah, I said, you know what, motherfucker, I'm gonna let you live today. That's the most gangster shit I ever did.
But that's the thing. Like most people don't realize, like as scared as you are, like on the other end of having a gun pointed at you,
They're kind of the
they're
same
fucking
way.
freaked
Yeah.
out, having, like pulling the gun on you. Because at the same time, like from a hunting aspect, think of how like nervous you are.
That's
if
true.
You put that gun
Yeah,
or the
that's-
side of your bow on a live animal. All of a sudden, you're like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I'm gonna shoot this thing, and like, but you know, like, I'm out here to shoot this. I'm out here to hunt. I'm out here to do all this. But you, like, part of you's like, fuck, dude. I'm pulling the trigger. I'm shooting,
yeah.
and this either misses, wounds it, or kills it. And I hope I'm.
And it's all up to me. Like,
yeah, it's all on me, and it's like, okay,
it's all on me.
that's where sometimes you're just like, okay, hang on, I gotta put this down for a second, calm down, and also you're like, oh fuck.
I don't do that. I can't.
Dude,
I did that once, and I just like I put it down, and the deer was staring at me. I was just shaking like a motherfucker, and I was like, he like went back down to feed, and I was just so fucking nervous. I was like, I don't think I can fucking pull this bow back again. So I let the deer fucking feed off, and I didn't take a shot.
Really?
Dude,
Granted, it wasn't a big deer, but
But yeah, like the deer I got,
it
like,
was a weird feeling.
thank God the one I got 2 years ago, like I pulled back, and it was just like, in my mind, I was just like, okay, 20, 30, 40 yard pin. Wow, I'm really calm. Okay, right behind the shoulder.
That's how mine
Full-
was,
And it was
too.
just like, wow.
What do they call?
Oh.
Yeah.
What do they call that?
It's buck fever.
Buck
Buck
that's
fever
what it
or
is.
target panic,
Target-
all kinds of shit.
Target
Like with
panic, but
archery,
that's
it's like
before,
target
isn't
panic.
it? Isn't usually the buck fever after like you shot the thing?
It
and you're like,
depends
"Oh my
because
God."
like if you have like so much like build up, because I've had it where like I've been stalking deer for no shit 3 hours.
right.
So that whole time you're just like fucking, you're going over your shot in your head, and just like so much adrenaline's pumping. Like what happens if this? Like you're just
Well, at the
thinking about
same
these
time,
scenarios.
you have such an adrenaline dump on that stock because, like, with a bow, you're like, okay, my goal is to get it, like, as close as possible, like, hopefully 20 yards. My max range, if I can't get any further, is
Like 50, 60.
50, 60 yards. Okay. And then you range, and you're like, okay, well, I know this buck is, like, right over here. I range that. If I can get to there, that's 40 yards. I'm going to pop up. He's probably going to be like 30. So then you're going through super stealth mode, like slowest you've ever moved, but like you're moving, you're just like creeping, and all of a sudden it's like as soon as you pop up and you range, it's like solid, and you pop down, all of a sudden it's like this. Fuck.
I've had it with
You
my
shot-
rangefinder too, where there's like
Yeah.
a squirrel in it or something. I'm like trying to range. I'm like,
Dude, I've had that
like
too.
that shit. Dude.
I literally had this. I was like, I can't get a steady range.
Yeah.
One second. Okay.
I was like, it's either 180 yards or 20.
Well, and then,
Like-
well, and then it's like, okay, it's not shutting down. I'm doing it. Oh, fuck. That's when I was just like, I'm not shooting.
Dude.
See, with
that's-
mine, it
that's
was nice
insane.
because I just turned around. I turned around, and this bug was just standing right there. And I was like, oh. And like, it was like, it all happened so fast that I had no fucking. That's why I hit him so well, because I had no direct. Because I was like, oh shit, there's a deer there. And I already had an arrow knocked, and I was like, got him. And
Is
then,
there
but
any-
after I was like, I couldn't fucking like sit still because my dad's buddy was over there waiting for more deer to come like out of these aspens. So, and I was just all kinds of fucked up. Like I was walking back and forth super slow so I wouldn't fuck him up. Like I was belly crawling and shit. And then like I was like walking around my tree super slow and I couldn't like sit still because I didn't know if I hit him because he like just darted into these like super thick, you know, aspens. So I was like, fuck, I think I hit him. I think, you know, I heard a crash, all this shit.
Like, you're going through like all these things through your head too, like before and after.
And
It's
then
amazing.
I found my arrow. I went and got my arrow, and I was like, dude, there's so much blood on this shit. He's definitely dead.
Yeah.
And then I get back, I was like, but what if he's not? Should I put a stock on him? Like, I was just, it's weird. Your brain goes in a completely
Haywire.
different direction.
Yeah, like, well, it's amazing. Like, if you have like a long stock, like what I found for like me personally is like the better the odds are of me having buck fever, adrenaline dump where I can't control it anymore.
Yeah, the longer this. Yeah.
But like, what's surprising is that big 6x7 I got. I'm literally set up on a 4x4 right here. I'm like, oh, you're 30 yards bedded down. I'm just waiting for you to stand up and I'm gonna shoot you. But the one I really want is 120. He's 120 yards that way. Mm-hmm. But then he's feeding this way, so I'm watching him and I'm ranging him, but I'm like waiting for this one to stand up. I'm like, he's gonna stand up first. This one's gonna be over here, out of range. Odds of him 30 yards standing up, seeing me crouch behind the bushes, and just gonna blow it all. So I'm just gonna pull back and shoot this guy. He ended up feeding 43 yards right behind the buck. I shot over him, but it's still bedded down. Shot him, and I just crouched down. And all of a sudden, this buck stands up. Had no idea I was there, and he's just like, "Let's just start eating."
He's like, "Whoa!"
And then he looks at his like other buddies, and they're like feeding off them. And he goes, "Oh, guys, hang on, I'm gonna come." And he comes up, and I'm like, "Fuck, dude, what happened?" Okay, I'm pretty sure I heard like a bump, like I heard, but then he took off like dead sprint. I'm like, you know, with the luck I've had. I've shot at this buck twice. I've missed twice. One, bad range, just because so shaky. I was like 80 yards. He was at like 60, but I threw it at 80 right over his back. Good shot. The other one I had on him, I pre-ranged it, and he stepped, and I didn't take account. What I ranged was 10 yards further back than him. So when he walked in front, I was like, oh, you're at 60 yards. And I drew back, and he was at like 50. So like those two, it was like good shots, but all that, I'm like, fuck. Odds are I shot at you twice, dude. I didn't hit you.
Right. So
I'm like, I got on the radio. I'm like, hey, Dad, I'm just going to sit here for a minute, kind of let everything settle down, and I'm going to go check it out. And I walk. I'm like, fuck, dude, I can't find anything. The sun's not even up, like, over the mountains yet. It's like 6:40 in the morning. And then all of a sudden, I fire my arrow, just blood. I'm like, oh, fuck, I hit him. Yeah. But I can't find a blood trail. Again, there's no light.
Does it go through?
Pure, clean through.
Okay.
And so...
Most
I can't find
it will.
Unless you hit a closer shot. Unless you hit like a shoulder bone.
Yeah, unless you shoulder him or some shit like that.
But it's got to be a solid bone, like a rib bone won't stop it.
No, like
you can shoot through a rib.
You can shoot through a rib because your ribs are actually, it's a flat bone.
Right.
So it's not that hard because then they also are used to expanding and going through. So when you go in, it compresses and it just kind of breaks open.
Okay.
Plus you have gap where a shoulder bone is a solid piece of flat bone.
Right.
So then it was a clean pass through, double lunged him, and I'm like, I didn't know this. One, I can barely see, so I'm looking.
Did you see the lung blood on it though? Because lung blood is the one that has like when you pick up your arrow, because that's my buck in Canada. Yeah, it was all bubbly.
So lung blood's bubbly because when it goes through, it's all oxidized and stuff, and that's what's been turned. Yeah, so it's got air bubbles on it. Okay. So, but I picked it up and I'm like, I was like, I can't really tell because it's like half like I found fletching, so it's like buried in like the sand most, and I pull it out. And I sniff, I'm like, okay, well, that's not a gut shot because you can smell like the guts on it.
Like shit, basically.
Yeah, it basically smells like shit. So I was like, that's not like. I looked down, like that's clean blood. Like it's heavy, it's saturated. And I smell. I'm like, okay, that's not fucking like I didn't gut him. At least I didn't do that.
Right.
It's still dark, and then finally like the light starts coming up over the mountains, and I'm looking. I'm like, okay, I really don't, because he dropped down like this riverbed. I'm like, I really don't want to like pressure him if he like bedded down to die. And then if I like come over the top and he sees me bump him, he's gonna sprint up this hill and he'll go for miles. Mm-hmm. I don't want that. So I'm like, I'm creeping around. All of a sudden, like I look, and he just basically he ran straight, which was like 80 yards down the hill, and just augured into the riverbed dead. So really? he probably lived max 5 seconds.
Okay.
So that's like ideal. But I was like, oh fuck, I hit him, dude.
Right.
Fucking hit him.
That's crazy.
That's still not as bad as mine. I had to wait a whole day for mine.
Yeah, well then I walked back. Little did I know where I found my arrow. I was thinking, oh, like where it looked at my angle, he just shot straight back. Well, when he did, he actually like ran forward and then turned. There's just a fat blood trail the whole way down. I'm like, I missed this by 2 steps to my right. But I couldn't see it because it's like still dark out, like the sun's out. It's like enough where you can see, but it's not like light. You know, that one, you've been up early enough where it's like, oh, it's early, and all of a sudden, like, the sun comes up over the mountains, and like, oh, wow, it got real fucking light.
Right. Yeah, it gets really light really quick.
Especially in the summer, too. Yeah. But, like, and then the other one I got, it was, like, ranged him 80 yards. That's not the spot he's staring at. I just got off on a cliff, leaned over the cliff, and shot him in the bed. That quick, I was like, dude, no adrenaline dump, nothing, I'm good.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Perfectly fine. Okay. The longer stalks I've had,
those are tough.
Fucked me.
Yeah.
Because then you just have more time to think.
Is there anything that gives you guys that type of feeling, that adrenaline dump or anything? Like, have you guys,
honestly, no.
Like, have you gone cliff jumping? Have you done?
Well, that's true. I haven't done like.
I'd say probably like the equivalent would probably be. I've never done it. I want to. Would be like skydiving.
Right.
I
hear that's because it's really a build up.
Where okay, you're
because
up in the
you're
plane,
in the plane and you're thinking the whole time,
Right,
like,
and you're
fuck, I'm gonna
strapping up, you're everything.
Yeah.
It's a
and then
big
you
process.
jump and you're going down, and then all of a sudden you get off and you're like, oh, the adrenaline dump hits you.
Yeah. And people are like, it's the most life-changing thing. It's like how you guys are passionate about hunting. There's this thing that, dude, it fucks with your mind. But it's like, you know,
Yeah, I know, it's
the
a weird
tough
thing.
challenge and getting over that tough challenge, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. And it seems like you guys, like it's an addiction for you.
Oh,
guys.
well, it's kind of like an addiction because it's never consistent.
Right.
You know your ability is at this level, and every time you go out, it can get a little bit better. And every time you fuck up, it's something where you're like, I definitely learned from that. And you never do it again.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, I did this right. Let's try and do this again. But it's not a foolproof thing.
Right.
Because every deer, every situation is way different. The terrain I'm in could be different. Like that last hunt I had, probably will never happen again like that. It just, the odds of that happening are very slim, most likely.
Right.
Yeah.
But the way I describe it is like that state you get in is like when you're pitching and all of a sudden like all your pitches are on. You're spotting
Right. It's a
everything up.
zone.
It's like you
You're in
just
the
get in,
zone.
you get in that flow
Yeah.
state zone, and it's like catch your puts down, fastball, and you're going like
It's almost like you don't even, there's no thought. You
Yeah,
just
it's
see
just like
number
do
and
it.
here it comes.
Yeah.
See number, here it comes.
yeah, you're like okay,
Yeah.
curveball here, boom, snap it off, beautiful
Right.
ball, boom,
And
you're
it just
and
feels right.
and you're cruising, and all of a sudden next outing you're like, dude, I'm gonna get right back into this. I was doing good, and all of a sudden like you throw a few, and you're like, fuck, I'm a little off.
Yeah.
And then you start overthinking.
on?
Yeah.
Get the ball down, throw strikes.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. I
Yeah.
didn't fucking think of that.
Really?
Yeah.
Or the catcher comes up, bro, dude, what the fuck happened to you this week, man?
Mhm.
Last week you're beautiful. Where was that? And you're
Yeah.
like,
It's all a mental game, man.
it is.
It
That's kind of like the flow state you get into on a stock.
Yeah.
So like while you're scouting, that's the hard part though. Think of it, it's like you're a bullpen pitcher. You're sitting, you're scouting, you finally find something, you're in the bullpen.
Yeah.
And then you start warming up, you're getting loose, and you're moving, you're going to where you are, and then all of a sudden you come into the game, bases loaded, and
You
it's-
need one
you're up one run,
Right.
and it's later in the game, and it's like, okay, I need to shut this inning down, and it's
Oh,
my game for the rest.
Right. And
This
you
is-
just, dude, I get pumped with that stuff.
You-
I love
Well,
being
that's
a
what I'm
reliever.
saying. Like you get pumped for it, and you're like, okay, and then all of a sudden, like that's my mentality too. Like I love closing. I love pressure situations. Like I locked in on that.
Yeah.
Starting, it was like I gotta like sustain this groove for a while. I'm good for like 3 innings, and then I'm gonna kind of just me personally, like mentality mindset. I'll kind of come off the rails,
Right.
especially with compounded errors coming behind me. Is like now I gotta do it all myself, and I'm getting way too fine, nitpicky, and things start.
Well, and you control like the tempo of the game too, like the starting
Yeah.
pitcher does for sure.
So you're controlling the tempo of the hunt. So it's like, okay, I really gotta like creep this in. Oh, hey, bring it back. The hard part is like if you're hunting with a buddy, and if you're like taking point, sometimes you gotta like coach them back on it, and you can see it in their eyes sometimes. Like when I hunt with Hunter, sometimes like if you know you're stalking in on something that you're both going after, like there's something for both of you, or even if you're just like guiding them on it. You just see it in their eyes. The eyes are big and the pupils are small, and they're just locked in. They're ready to go. But the drone's going, and all of a sudden you see it first. And you're like, hey, fuck, calm down, and they're still going.
They're pinned.
You want to yell, like, fucking stop.
Right.
But then they're still coming.
They're red line.
Calm down, dude. They're red line.
Yeah.
But then it's
They're
like, hey,
red.
hey, dude, hey, simmer down. Right here, here we go. Okay. So it's just the same thing. You set in the pace, you set in the tempo. Either whether it's for yourself or like for multiple people, it's kind of like that's the best way I could like equate it to something outside of hunting.
Right.
So it can be very addictive of like, fuck yeah, man, I get outing. And then you go out on another hunt, and you're like, what the fuck happened, dude? Everything I did just didn't happen.
Right.
And then sometimes you have to take into account, like, well, I did everything right on this hunt. Wind.
Right.
Like I went on a cow elk hunt. I got Hunter and his girlfriend Bree within 90 yards from some cow elk for all 3 of us. I'm like, hey, they're right over here in this little valley bed. We just need to come down, break over top. And the wind right now is going uphill, but the way it is it's going to kind of bowl down
swirls.
here. But you don't know it until you get down there. I get down there, and I'm like, come down here. And they start moving, and then all of a sudden you hear, dum, and they're taking off.
And then you get
Well, I
your
know,
little
it's like-
squeeze thing of wind, and then it shows the winds blowing straight
Yeah, well,
down
at
towards
fir-
us.
at first you're
Yeah,
like-
you're in there. What is it? Blowing your scent towards them, or
Well, there's this little like white powder, like that's what happened to me on my deer hunt.
It's
when
like
I,
chalk.
yeah,
It's like
it's-
just like powdered
powder.
chalk.
same idea as throwing grass in the air.
yep,
Same idea of
exactly.
licking your finger, but it's a little bit
Yeah.
more accurate because the way it picks up the particles, you can see it.
They're
You
gonna
can see where
float.
it swirls.
Yeah.
Like grass is a
Oh,
little too heavy,
okay.
so you can see if it's a heavy breeze. But
It'll
like this will
pick it
pick
up.
up gusts.
Okay.
So like
This
if
will
I'm in-
blow with no wind. Like you
Right.
can't even feel wind, and you'll still see it.
Yeah,
go
like-
one direction.
Okay.
The one that you like, kind of, is when it's still like if you're in like Aspens or something, you'll puff it up and you see it kind of go and it like swirl a little bit, but then it just kind of falls. So you know it's kind of like your stuff mixing around,
Right, but
it's not going to be carrying your scent more than like
right.
3 feet from where you are.
Gotcha. All right. So you guys are Joe Rogan fans. Have you guys heard about? He was talking about something in the Marines where they did something with their brain. They put a device on there.
9-volt Nirvana.
No, it might be that, but it was something with it was like electromagnetic something. I can't remember, somewhere or another. And this reporter did it, and she tried this like military thing. Got,
Yeah,
like,
it's
5
like
out
a
of 20.
SWAT game shooting thing.
Right.
And she shoots and she gets like 5 out of 20.
Puts it
They
on.
hit the voltage thing and she gets 20 out of 20 and she goes, it's done
Fucking
already.
perfect.
You know what?
Perfect score. You know, it's called 9
I listen to
Nirvana.
almost
Okay,
every
so
single
that's what it is?
Joe Rogan. I
It's,
haven't heard
it's
that.
by, he talks about it. It's Radiolab who does it. If you listen to the podcast.
yeah, I've been listening to a little bit of Radio Lab.
So
because
the
they do
Radio
crazy
Lab,
ass ones.
I listened to it after hearing that one. It's Radiolab 9-volt Nirvana if you want to check it out.
Right.
And it's not all about her, but it kind of goes into the science behind it. You hit basically certain like brain cells like on it that stimulate like the flow state in a sense.
Whoa.
And basically it was like a 2-hour test and she's going through and she's struggling. She goes, oh my God, this thing can't end fast enough.
Oh my
And then
god.
They
she's
give her-
fucking pro.
They give her like an hour break to kind of like settle. go
Yeah,
over
like, hey,
scores.
take it easy, whatever, and then they fucking stick her with that.
But then
thing.
they're like, hey, this is it's randomized. You're gonna get a completely different thing. We're gonna do the voltage thing. So they basically like stimulated her brain the way it is. And she
Oh,
goes
they
in
told
there-
her prior that they were gonna do that.
Yeah. So then she
Maybe
goes.
that's a little bit of placebo effect, though,
It could
too.
be, yeah.
It could be, but
exactly.
then she goes into it and just
I
boom.
wonder if they had control tests.
But then blasts it like perfect 20 out of 20 score, and then like the simulation stops, and she goes, "Why'd you guys stop it?" And she goes, "Oh, it's over." She goes, "I've only been in here like 15 minutes." Like, "Oh no, this was 2 hours. You were in here for 2 hours doing it."
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
She
So
got in such a state where she's like, bop, 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 bop.
my question about that, dude, is if you could get in the flow state every single time, wouldn't that take kind of like the addiction out of it, the beauty
That's
out
true.
of it? You know what I mean?
Like if they figured out how to like.
right. So if you could just hook that thing on, and okay, I'm hunting elk now. And it's
Yeah.
like, you get that
Where
summer-
you couldn't miss.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
You're like
You're just-
Hawkeye. You're just fucking shooting shit.
Right.
From
You
100
become the
yards.
best hunter in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But wouldn't
it
that
would
be-
lose. It would. For me, it would.
I would say it
Because
wouldn't.
that's like the whole thing of it is the struggle, and then
Right.
the struggle, and bang, you finally get it. That's
Yeah,
what the
like if
reward
someone
is.
was like, "We're gonna put a chip in the back of your head," and guess what?
The
Because we
reward's
did
there.
this, you're not gonna miss. I don't
Mhm.
know. I don't know how I'd feel about that.
I don't know if it would take the struggle or the
Well, yeah, because
The-
you still got to put a stock
in
on it.
hunting. You still have to take the
Yeah,
stock. You
that's
still have to,
true.
you got an X variable that is the animal,
Right.
as well as your Y variable, the wind, and then the terrain, and all this.
So
You're still
hunting
struggling.
itself might be a little different.
Yeah, hunting, but like baseball, everyone's got that 9-volt Nirvana. Like
So
you may have like
it would take away from the game itself, because then you don't see bad pitching, you don't see bad hitting. You know what I mean? It takes away
Yeah.
from the great hitting.
it takes away from the
The
fanatic.
human
Right.
element is.
I'm
taken
sure
out.
Right,
fans
exactly.
would love it. And
Yeah.
the fact of, okay, games are probably only going to be like an hour and a half long now.
Well,
Because
they're
everything's
perfect.
crisp, clean, no
Yeah.
errors. But then that takes away like the human aspect of everything. Or
Right.
even in football. Okay, I made a perfect read. I saw this perfectly. Perfect dime pass throw every time. I threaded the needle. I
Right.
mean, it would take away, I think, from a sporting aspect of like your big sports. I think it would take away from that. But
With hunting,
with
there's too
hunting,
many
you have too many
variables.
variables that you can't control. Like you can't 9-volt Nirvana a deer or an elk. Or whatever
Right,
you're hunting
exactly. It's not
to
a
sit still.
simulated deer.
Correct.
Right.
And even if you
Clay,
are
type
in
in-
9-volt Nirvana, I mean, sometimes
Do you know what
get
that's
that-
called?
What?
9-volt
state?
Nirvana.
It's just called 9-volt
It's
Nirvana.
Radio
Is there like a
Labs.
picture of it, like being inserted in someone's?
Just
the back
type
of their head?
in Radiolab like 9-volt Nirvana.
Because I want to check this shit out. Honestly.
Oh, there's a picture. First one is chick shooting a gun.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, so basically it was like a battery pack that like hooked up and it stimulates certain parts
Oh,
of her
okay.
brain.
So it's in a headband.
Yeah, so basically, but what it did is it stimulates like certain parts of your brain, like your hippocampus or something like that, and then you just go through it. But that was like what 9-volt Nirvana was.
Zap your brain into the zone. Fast track to pure focus. That's crazy. That was in 2012.
Yeah. So
Fuck, dude.
I think in hunting, it's
So at
got
this
too many
point,
variables.
our
Why does
military's
it-
been using it.
I was
for
just gonna
5
say,
years.
why doesn't the military just like?
I'm sure they're on.
Yeah, they probably are.
Yeah,
That's why Chris
definitely.
Kyle was so fucking crazy.
Right, all of them, dude.
That's
They're-
why he beat what's that dude in Vietnam, Carlos Hathcock, who had the prior record. He didn't have that shit. Chris Kyle though, he was like
Dude,
fucking juiced to the fucking gills in his brain.
the shit that guy like did, that Vietnam dude.
Oh,
Like, have you
dude,
heard about that?
I've read like 3 books on him, dude. He's fucking crazy.
Have you heard like that sniper battle he had?
Mm-mm.
He was sent in versus like the Viet Cong's like top sniper versus like him, and basically he had to
You
like
guys need another beer?
Yeah, you want to grab me one? That would
What do you
be
want?
Awesome. Doesn't
there's
matter.
the Alaska variety pack, so we got the amber, white,
Ooh, Alaskan
winter,
amber, please.
or the IPA.
I'll take an
Ice
amber
Bay.
for sure.
Just
What was
surprised
that?
me.
Amber.
Surprised.
Amber? Okay.
So basically he's like where he had to go was into like a Viet Cong base camp kind of thing in the jungle, and he belly crawled for 3 days in, but would have to readjust because he's like it showed it like on a map. It was like red dots were enemies, and he's basically crawling like 5 feet away from an enemy, but through like tall grass. And he would like basically, I'm sleeping here tonight, or like I'm just gonna lay here until this guy moves his post and switch posts, and I gotta creep out. And he like got into the spot and fire off a shot. Like he only had 1 shot to get in and then move and then get out.
Damn.
Basically, the sniper's doing the same thing on him. So they're just both trying to find each other for like, I think it was 3 days to get in, like 2 days to find this guy, and another 3 days out.
Wow.
And dude, he was also the guy who Saving Private Ryan shot through the scope and hit the guy.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's
okay.
the dude. Well,
So by the time he got to Vietnam, he was old as fuck then.
probably, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's still like documentaries on him. He's not like super old, but I'm assuming he's probably like in his.
No, he
like-
died.
Did he die?
He died of like a. Can you guys still hear me on that?
Yeah.
Okay. He died of some sort of a heart. Actually, Google how Carlos Hathcock died. I think he died of cancer or something. But did you guys see that one where he took out that head Viet Cong, where he stayed in a field for like several days, and they were looking for him because he knew he was there, and they still couldn't find him?
That's what I was talking about. It was a sniper battle. He was
Oh,
taking
okay,
out
yeah.
the Viet Cong
Where he like
sniper.
pissed
Yeah.
and shit all over himself. too?
Yeah, he was basically peeing and shitting because he couldn't like get up and stretch or anything. He's like on prone the whole time, like on his belly crawling through these reeds, and they're searching for him because they knew he was coming. It was like if you go watch the documentary, it's nuts because they have like the aerial view, kind of like recreation wise thing of like off his like reincantation of like they were like set up on these posts. Like I remember where they were, but it was also probably from like his record of like, hey, I mean you're there for 7 days. You're documenting. Okay, this guy's posted up on this ridge. That guy's posted on this ridge. Blah 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 blah. And just continuing it down.
Screw that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. So, I mean that's just insanity right there.
Yeah.
To be able to do that. Yeah. So on a lighter, non-war note, I want to hear right now before baseball starts. What are your predictions for who wins each division, wild cards, and then we can go from there.
All right.
Actually, hang on, before we get into that, you're an Angels fan. I want to get in how you feel about your new pickup.
Sohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
It's cool that he does both sides. I think that's cool. But all right, I might be biased in this, but I do have a bias against a lot of Japanese baseball players and Korean baseball players. They have a massive problem with coming and getting injured. If you look at the track record, I mean, besides Ichiro and Hideki Matsui, but even Matsui had some injury.
Fukudome a little bit too.
Right.
I'd say it was like those early 90 players.
Right.
Like Ichiro, Matsui, and Fukudome were like players who kind of transitioned well coming over into
and
it.
didn't get injured all that
But if
much.
you think about it, they're all outfielders.
Very true. Not pitching.
Not
you look
pitching.
at the you look at the
Darvish.
pitchers. Yu Darvish, Tanaka, who was Daisuke Matsuzaka. All those guys, they come in 1-2 good years and then blow out my elbow, blow out my shoulder.
Or hitters figure him out.
Well,
quick, too.
exactly.
And
But
it's
I
also-
think that's they're trying to throw it by guys or whatever. They're getting out of their realm. But there's something to be said that there might not be. That might not be very good mechanics to do their little wiggle bullshit and their weird shit.
And then also you have to take in the fact that they're not playing 162 games a year plus
Mhm.
spring training. so they're not used to the amount of reps they're getting, and then they're also facing basically MLB guys who haven't made the cut or are on the phase of their career, and like, oh, I'll go play in Japan, see if I can like pick it up again,
right,
and then come back.
Right.
They're facing those guys either up and coming who haven't quite figured it out, or the guys who are on the tail end trying to refigure it out.
Right. Manny Ramirez.
Yeah.
He's got a huge contract in Japan. That guy's a freaking superstar. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's probably the biggest name player in Japan, huh?
Yeah, him or Gomes. I mean, Gomes obviously.
Johnny Gomes?
Yeah.
I forgot that he even went.
He got a huge contract to go out there. Because, I mean, he's a good player. He should have. Right. I prefer he would have stayed with the Red Sox so we could have watched him, but still. It's cool.
Didn't he win a ring with Boston, though?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But he was a guy who's like, you could tell he's kind of on his tail end of his career.
He was, but he wasn't. He wasn't like diminishing too.
His diminishing return wasn't bad, but it wasn't to the level of what he wanted to play.
No, very true.
He was at this point where it's like,
don't go to Japan, because then you just beat up on Japanese guys.
It's ego boost, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
It is. It's like when an old UFC fighter goes to Bellator.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, they find some success.
Yeah, exactly. So, I hope that Shohei Ohtani does good, but I'm going off the track record of all the Japanese guys that have come over and been a pitcher. I'm guessing he's going to be hurt in a year or two. The good thing is the Angels didn't spend a shit ton of money on him.
They really didn't.
Yeah, no. They had to do the bonus because you have to buy the guy for a lot.
You have to buy him out of the Japanese league.
Right. You buy him out of that league, and then you basically are competing with all the other teams that are trying to buy him too. So it's just an auction going flying through the
because the Giants were looking at him for a while.
Because basically
Giants, Yankees, of course,
Dodgers.
Yankees, Red Sox, Dodgers, of course.
Cubs,
but he wanted to play on
Giants.
the West Coast. That's when a lot of teams fell out of it. Cubs were looking at him too, I think.
They were, but I mean, you have to equate. Okay, you got a base pay to get him out of the Japanese league.
Yep.
Now, basically, everything we're auctioning is what we're going to pay him over here.
Right. That's true.
But then they gave him a minor league, minimum major league contract. So for the actual years that he's going to be playing, he's only going to make like $550,000.
Really?
Yeah. Which only $550,000.
Well,
it's the league minimum. So,
but I'd say, I mean,
but that's pretty. That's
good.
pretty low ball for baseball because those dudes are making
especially
fucking money.
Two-way guy.
Well, that's what I'd say. I mean, if the Angels probably
Japanese
play it smart,
right?
If the Angels play it smart, they'll be like, okay, we'll let you pitch for that 1 year, see how your arm feels, start you out pitching maybe, and then it's like, hey, you know what? We can either go down the route, you blow out your arm and you can't even play the field,
right?
Or we're going to transition you in just a hitter.
As long as he's a good hitter. If he transitions well as a hitter. I mean, he's looked well.
Looks like he's got a pretty decent swing on him.
I
saw that little clip of Kershaw striking him out in 3
That's
pitches.
That's a
Kershaw's
pitcher's pitch.
fucking striking out so many people.
Exactly,
like that,
and it's a pitcher's pitch. I mean, if we're being honest, that was pretty low and outside.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Like when he rang him up, I was like, dude, this is spring training for the umps too.
And the catcher did a wonderful job of framing it.
Yeah, I saw that too. He was like,
yeah, but
exactly.
you see that pitch
stiffened up a little.
But everyone's like talking about like, oh, Kershaw struck him out. You're like, okay,
Kershaw strikes out so many.
You
people
could run a highlight reel.
Oh, dude, you're sounding like him, dude.
You could run a highlight reel of that exact same curveball over the top for probably 2 minutes throughout his entire career of just pitch.
Dude, the Angels don't have a bad roster.
No, they're gonna look good. It's gonna be okay.
I like that roster a lot, actually.
I do. So for AL West, it's gonna be.
Did you hear the question?
What is that?
Okay, so what I asked Jake, I want you to run into it too, is who's going to win each division.
Okay.
And then who are going to be the 2 wild cards coming into it right now, because no games have started. All you have is kind of like we're narrowing down spring training.
Can you pull up all the divisions of baseball? Because I forget sometimes.
So for AL West, I see either obviously Astros or Angels. Angels, I think, are going to get second place.
They're going to get the wild card.
Yes,
probably.
I think they're going to sneak into a wild card.
Right now, let's just run AL, and then we'll run through NL West to East.
So we'll start in the American League.
East, I see the Yankees. I think they bolstered up, and I really like their lineup.
The fucking evil empire's back with the fucking Yankees, dude.
They're spending their money again. I was wondering if
so we're all agreement Yankees are winning that fucking division.
The only thing that I have competing with them is Red Sox right now.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a 1-2, and it's going to be 2 games back kind of the situation for them.
Right. Really? You think the Red Sox will keep up with them that much?
Dude, with who they just picked up too, as in their whole like lineup overall, they still have a ton of young talent.
That's true.
And
They're
then they
very
just
young
picked-
team.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
their young hitters are boppers. Dude.
Yeah.
They can hit. That
Mookie.
Benintendi.
Mookie Benintendi.
Yeah,
Benintendi-
Andrew Benintendi.
He's like 5'7", and the guy's like crack.
breaking them.
It's like
and think about it, this will
Well-
be his second year in the MLB full time.
Yeah.
So
Right.
he came up 2 years ago, played like the last
Last
after
half
All-Star break,
of a couple years ago.
2 years.
He played
ago.
a full season last year, didn't he?
No, but it was 2 years ago.
Yes,
He came
last
up and
year.
played last
Yeah.
half. Last year was his official rookie season, and then he comes up and he's played. This will be his second full year. Think of like the pitching he's seen, especially when you're coming down to the wire when it's getting real tight on pitching.
right.
You're getting into that postseason type pitching. He's seen the best of the best.
The Red
He's
Sox
come into
still
a
need
full
pitching.
year.
That being
now.
said, the Yankees also went to the playoffs this year. They didn't lose any important players. They only gained good ones.
Yeah.
So
Fucking
I
stand.
right, exactly. I really do worry about the Yankees this year. They're
Well,
gonna be
Judge is going to
legit.
come back just
Right.
as good.
He-
You would have.
he's phenomenal.
Think.
Right.
You would fucking think he's not going to.
He's
As long
not.
as he
He
didn't
hasn't showed anything.
Party all goddamn off season and get 30 pounds heavier.
Yeah, with his fucking bubble gum and shit.
Yeah, but think about it. I mean, he's got Giancarlo Stanton probably like mentoring him through this, not letting him party through the off season as soon as he picked him
Yeah,
up.
that
That's
guy's a
true.
savage.
Because he's like the king of the New York right now.
Oh,
He's
he
like-
is. So I'd say Yankees win the East, and then Red Sox is right behind them.
Right.
Most
I would
likely.
honestly
They're
say
Wild
considered-
that's
card
the other wild
Yeah.
card because I don't see the Central being that strong this
Okay,
year.
so yeah, the Centrals. I mean, the Royals have lost some players. I mean, they just signed what?
They lost
Lucroy?
Hosmer.
They lost
Well-
Hosmer
Mm-hmm.
to the Padres, but they
Right.
just signed. Didn't they sign Lucroy?
Did they?
I thought where
Maybe,
did-
but what I would
They
say is
might
right
have.
now is the
But
Centrals.
I mean, he's a catcher. It's not like
Yeah.
he's going to be the
the difference maker.
right.
the Central's gonna be very competitive within itself.
Exactly. I think the Indians are going to
The Indians could win that.
they're gonna round out that division.
Yeah.
Just because they're the strongest team, they still have that young
and
pitching
Lindor
staff.
is a fucking stud.
Right.
Dude.
I'd say
and
Indians
Santana.
win
Right.
Central with fighting for second of the division. White
The
Sox
Twins,
win.
See, the
though-
Indians are really good, dude. Like the Indians are the best team in that division, and like you said, the Twins they come in and out. It's almost like
exactly.
like
They're just
two years ago they were a contender. Last year they were last in the
Dog
division.
shit.
Yeah, it's like okay, what are we doing here, Twins?
I-
But
I'd
maybe
say-
that's kind of a sophomore slump because all their
That's
players
true.
are so fucking
Super young.
Yeah, I'd say the Twins and White Sox are basically competing for who comes in second in that division.
Yeah,
Right.
And
Royals
maybe,
are out of it.
Like,
Maybe
Tigers.
Tigers though.
Maybe you're right. Maybe Tigers.
But
I
they
would-
kind of dumped a lot of guys this year. They
They
gave
did.
us Kinsler.
yeah.
Mhm.
So I'd just say right now it's going to be like Twins, White Sox give the Indians a run for their money, probably first 20-ish games after All-Star break.
Yeah.
They're going to give them like that hot shot run, and then they're going to kind of like taper out, and then it's just going to be fighting for a wild card spot.
Right.
That's what I feel in that AL Central.
Yeah. So AL East, Yankees. I think Boston gets one of the wild cards, and
I'd say Boston gets. Oh, that's tough with the West, though. I was going to say.
I
one
think
wild
I
card.
think they'll get top wild card. 'Cause
The
I
Angels
don't
might
think the
get
Angels.
this-
The Angels pitching staff is what I worry about the most.
Yeah,
We
you guys
have-
don't have.
We have Garrett Richards, who's a fucking fireballer, but he gets hurt every year, and
Yeah.
he's a stud. But you can't rely on somebody who's getting hurt all the time. Then the rest of them, it's like there's no names, dude. We don't have anybody that's a big name pitcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't
Well, then-
name. I can only name like him. Garrett
Right.
Richards,
And
that's
I'd
it.
say it's tough
And
right
the
now
Japanese guy.
Yeah,
to
so-
pick up a guy, at least on that free agency list, who's going to be that big time guy who's going to come out there and shut shit down.
There is, yeah, the
There
free
is
agency,
nobody out there free agency
yeah,
wise.
the
for you.
pitching stock wasn't very good this year. You had to trade, and we don't have that many guys to trade unless you're talking about starters. But we have to keep those.
Yeah, if you
'Cause
want to
our
trade
bench
franchise
sucks.
guys, you can't.
Dude,
So I
like-
worry about the Angels. I
Like
do.
4 years ago, the Angels on paper were so fucking
Oh, they were
stacked
dominant
too.
Yeah.
They were
I can't
projected to
believe
win
that-
the World Series, and they just came out and shat the bed.
Right. Well, they got to the playoffs and then they got swept by the A's. I don't know if you remember that. But
Yeah.
that was when the A's were fucking really good, dude.
The A's is a team that like
Farm system
You
of
wish-
MLB. Dude.
you
Oh,
wish they had
exactly.
money to keep
Exactly.
the team like they were in the A's.
Right.
Because at that point, it's like, you know what? You guys have had the seasons to get you to spots, but I wish you just either forked out the cash to win a World Series, to give it to your fan base, because they've been so loyal. That's that Oakland mentality.
Right.
It's all going to the fucking Warriors, dude.
I know, but
Yeah, exactly.
All that
Oakland's
fucking-
like, shit, we gotta get the fuck out of here. You see the freaking Raiders are leaving. They're like, get
Raiders,
the fuck out of Oakland.
And the Warriors are playing in San Francisco in a few years because
yeah.
they're building that stadium
Right.
in San Fran.
And it's and if you look at the stadium now, it's like right on the fucking edge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not, I mean, Oakland is unfortunately losing.
I
their
said
teams
this, in 5 years there will be no professional teams in Oakland.
in Oakland, and that's the
That's
truth.
unfortunate.
Which is
unfortunate.
sad because
it's the truth.
it's the way the culture is in Oakland.
Yeah.
It's
Who the fuck wants to go to an Oakland game? You have, dude. You're caged walking into the fucking Coliseum.
you want to go to an Oakland game.
The
if you
Coliseum
wanna-
has flooding problems.
Yeah.
You want to go to
You're caged on a bridge that's 2 stories above the fucking road, yet they still have fucking chain link fence around the whole goddamn thing. It's
Dude,
like,
have you driven?
how dangerous is this
Have
place?
you driven behind the Coliseum? That road that cuts right behind the Coliseum.
I've definitely drove
Yeah.
on that road.
It is
Ghetto.
AK-47
Yeah.
casings galore. Like
Yeah.
I said, dude,
It's like you're walking to the penitentiary when you go to a fucking A's game.
literally, I looked at my dad and go, why don't we just sweep all this brass up? We can make like $300.
Yeah, straight up, dude. I got a great story for you. You know Sean.
Yeah.
Okay, so we went with Sean's family, me and my grandpa, and him and his dad. We went to an A's game because his dad used to have a friend that had fucking phenomenal tickets right behind home plate, first row, like the best you could ever ask for. And it's Oakland, so they're super cheap, and they gave.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. That's the reason people want to go to an A's game.
That's
you
exactly
can get
it.
tickets
'Cause
fairly cheap.
It's the only place that you
you're
can
like-
get tickets fairly cheap.
You're like, I could get like
Except for Milwaukee.
base
Mhm.
level tickets for $70,
Yep.
and I'll be 20
I sat-
rows. I'll be 20 rows behind a dugout for
Right.
$70.
In Milwaukee, I sat right behind home, me and my dad, for $50. No shit. But it was like a few years ago when the Brewers were just
See, that tells
fucking
me
awful.
don't go to Milwaukee because fucking economic times are so
Yeah,
goddamn
it's
hard
true.
there. You can't buy
Yeah.
fucking shit.
Well, if you look at how empty that stadium is, they're just like, hey, people come.
That's true. They just
Yeah.
want people in there.
But yeah, continue your story about Sean.
Oh, so yeah, so we go there and we're there early, of course. 2 hours earlier or 4 hours because you want to get there about 2 hours before the game starts.
Before
to see
gates
BP
open.
and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah, watch some BP. And
Right. And so we're there way too early, and we're right by the Coliseum. And Sean's dad, Fred's like, you know what? Let's go to this swap meet. And I don't know if you know what a swap meet is, but it's like
I don't.
basically a bunch of Mexicans get together and they fucking have like this area where they set up shop and they just sell shit. And
It's like a fair.
right,
kind of.
exactly.
Okay.
Like a farmer's market for everything.
Yeah,
but
like blankets,
right.
tacos, shit like
Yeah,
that.
rings,
A
jewelry,
Hispanic fair. Like, hey, like,
electronics.
hey, I've been
Oh,
making,
really?
like,
Yeah.
Grandma makes ponchos.
But-
We're selling ponchos.
Right.
I got, like,
Kind
old
of.
radios.
I
of,
robbed
like,
a bunch
that's-
of beats.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you hope for. My grandma made it. But what you get is, hey, here's this ring. I know the finger's still attached, but don't worry, it's okay. You got
It's
a
like
nice
6
ring.
carats.
But,
Right.
but that's what it is. It's like they have all, like, the clothes stuff, and Grandma's sitting there like, oh, this is mine. And you're
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's like, why is there blood on it?
Right, exactly. Like
My-
the electronics, you can still see the fucking wiring that was attached to the car
It's a
itself.
car radio,
Right.
and it's still sparking because they
Still
just
see the
took
security tags on the
Exactly.
A's jerseys.
And I was
that they're
like
selling.
12 years old, and I still was like, what the fuck are we doing here?
You're like, hey, Fred,
And my
isn't that your
grandpa's
radio?
like kind of clutching on to me because he was a cop here for 33 years. He grew up in hardcore LA, so that guy
Oh,
knows,
shit.
like, yeah, he knows
Yeah.
slums.
And he's going, hey,
And he's
Fred.
Mexican too, so like, thank God I was with a Mexican grandpa.
Right.
Like, hold me.
They're
He's
like,
like,
you're cool, dude.
Yeah,
Fred,
exactly.
that looks like a
But if
Saturn
you know Sean,
radio.
you can imagine what his dad looks like.
Right.
White as fuck. And he's like,
Teaches
you
at
know, really
TMCC.
interested in all this shit. And we're like, Fred, let's get the fuck out of here. We
Well,
got all
Sean's,
these people
like,
looking
Sean's
at us
kind
like,
of intrigued into it, but
we're
Sean,
the only white people in the place.
yeah, but Sean's like, I could see Sean being intrigued about it because his dad's into it. But
Right.
at the same time, he's kind of got the
I think his dad,
outside perspective of like, well, Jake's kind of like a little freaked out.
Right.
Don's not letting Jake anywhere out of arm's reach.
right.
And my dad is 4 rows up.
Yeah, he's chilling.
He's
See,
just
that's
kind
the
of like,
thing
hey,
is Fred, grew up in the university system, so he doesn't really know the real world as
he
it
teaches
is.
at TMCC, and you'll see him on like the news talking about government issues and things like that.
Super
Oh,
brilliant,
okay.
really brilliant.
Super genius.
Yeah, really brilliant.
He just
but,
doesn't understand, like,
right, you know the difference.
he's
There's
book smart, not street smart.
Exactly. And my grandpa is street smart as fuck. Didn't go to college, but like he reads shit tons, so he's getting book smart. But he's really street smart because of all of his experiences.
Right,
growing
in
up.
LA.
Yeah, and you know, he would show me when we're in Oakland. He's like, look at all this wrought iron on the windows, dude. Why do you think that's there? Do you see that in Reno? No, people don't have freaking iron jail cell bars all over their windows.
Or why do you see
Right.
like wrought iron with like plywood covering the wrought iron, but you can still see the window?
Right, or freaking, you know, that chain link that's like so small that you can't get anything into it.
You can't like put
and
your
it's just
foot into
over
it and climb-
everything.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this isn't where you want to be, dude. Like this,
Yeah.
there's a reason this shit's there. And then, you know, I was super young, so then I was like, oh, okay, now I understand.
Bunch of graffiti everywhere.
Right.
And then, well, it's also the thing. It's like, I'm sure your grandpa would do this. Like when I would be like with my dad when I was younger, it'd be like, you see that group of guys over there? You see the attire they're wearing? Yeah. Like, okay, that's what they want. Well, do you notice a consistent color they're wearing? Oh yeah, they're all wearing red. Okay, they're part of a gang.
Get it?
You're like, oh fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Duh. What?
So,
And
what's
then-
up?
And then you're
Yeah.
like, I'm part of a gang because I hang out with my friends.
Yeah, I say the N word all the time
Yeah.
in songs.
And you're like, but dad, I have a crew. Their crew's different. Have you killed anyone to hang out with your friends? No, I haven't.
Exactly.
Not yet. I haven't been initiated.
No,
My grandpa
I
used
pushed
to
a kid
do
off
that.
the monkey bars one time.
My grandpa did used to do that. He'd be like, he would point out the reels.
I'll get one highlight, please.
Can I get another amber? Amber? Yeah, thanks.
Ice Bay.
He would point out the real guys and then, you know, the JV guys.
Like the posers, almost.
Right. The
Like
guys who are
that guy's not a
trying-
crip.
Right.
Like,
Like
you
but they're
could-
trying to beat and they actually do have a chance if they ever do anything.
Like
good.
I would say it'd be like
They're like a prospect.
Right.
Think of it, yeah, like motorcycle club. You see the guys, they got their cuts
Exactly.
on. Dude's got a bunch of patches, and then they're with a guy, and he's got like no patches. You're like, what? Why
Just
has
his
he got
prospect.
no patches?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a prospect. He's like interning, trying to try out for this crew.
Mhm. And so we were in SAC.
Notice how he can't wear a bunch of bling, or he's got a little bit of red
Right.
enough to show his colors, but he's not allowed to wear
Right.
full gear.
Yeah, exactly. So we were in SAC, and my grandpa was showing me, he's like, okay, look at that guy. Look at how his pants are fucking pressed perfectly. He's got it hanging to this degree, but this and that. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? And he like identified the gang and shit and all that stuff. So they're actually pretty fucking organized when it comes down
Oh,
to
it
it.
is. Yeah, no,
yeah,
it really
I
is.
agree with
It's
that,
crazy. It's
actually.
like they have brilliant minds, but they're just put in the worst fucking areas, dude.
Ice Bay.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I mean, no, that's a white. It's a green one. Yeah, so like I just remember going to like a Who game or not Who game, a Who concert with my dad. We're talking about baseball.
Oh,
games.
dude, I love the
Yeah. So I went to a Who concert, like just out. It was like fuck, I can't think of where it was. It was in a not like great neighborhood, but it was like one of those like up and coming, trying to be a wealthier area.
becoming gentrified type area.
Yeah, but it was a coming from the slums kind of a thing. And that's where the Who concert was. And we're sitting down, we're like on a grassy knoll. We pulled
On
up.
the grassy knoll.
All right, JFK.
Yeah.
We pulled up, like literally from Reno, got to Chico at my aunt and uncle's house. We get there, and my aunt runs out and she goes, I know you guys just got here. My friend has tickets to a Who concert. It's 2 hours away, or it's like an hour away. Would you guys want to go? It's free. All you guys gotta do is come. My parents are like, yeah, we'll go to a Who concert. Their friend rolls up. Here's the tickets. See you guys there. Have fun. So we go to a Who concert, and we're walking through, and then we like kind of set up on like where we're sitting in the grass, and all of a sudden, like, you're smelling. Granted, I'm probably like 8 years old at the time, and my dad just
So
goes,
you're like skunk.
Ganja.
yeah, but my dad just goes.
Ganja. The
He looks at Rachel and
fucking
he
grass.
goes, "You guys smell that?" And we're like, "Yeah, what is that?" He goes, "That's called weed." And we're like, "Weed?" Like,
My
What we-
grandpa
it was
was
like,
always like,
what
it's
we-
a skunk.
we're
Come
like,
on.
we're
That's
like,
what my dad always said.
we're like, what we pull in the backyard? And we're like, no, this is like the stuff that people get high on. It's a drug. It's called marijuana. It's weed. People smoke it. And we're like, oh, why? Because we're 8 years, like 8 and 10. Rachel,
why? Yeah.
And we're like, well, why?
We're
And he
happy.
goes, it's a drug. It kind of makes you feel like a certain way. You know, people like to do it. It's not really bad, but it's illegal. You can't do it.
Right.
Oh, okay. And my mom goes, is that what weed smells like? I was
like,
like,
no way, dude. I can
love your
totally
mom.
see
She's so
Lori
innocent,
saying
dude.
that
I
shit.
love
I
it.
know.
She's so innocent.
oh, she is.
Your mom cracks me up with that shit.
I love
dude.
it, dude. That's awesome.
And my dad goes,
Is that
well, he kind of like looks back and goes, yeah, that's what we do. She goes, oh, okay. Goes back to the concert, like, yeah, who? Like,
oh my gosh, that's
Baba
awesome.
O'Reilly's playing in the
See,
fucking
that's
background.
so
when she's
that's
doing
so fucking like.
I love
dude,
that.
that's
too
so my
genuine.
mom though. Cause like she would tell us stories and goes, yeah, there's this spot and they call it Smoker's Corner, and guys would be out there with like cigars, and then like a bunch of people would be smoking, but a few guys had cigars. Now that I'm older, it's like, no shit, these people had cigars because everyone else is smoking weed on the high school
Right,
campus, and the cigar
exactly.
smell is gonna cover up the weed smell.
Yeah.
And she goes, yeah, I would just walk through and hold my breath and just wave hi to people. I was like, oh my god,
I love
seriously?
your mom, dude.
God,
Seriously?
so funny.
awesome. That's
Innocence.
fucking
That is my
innocence
mom to
pure,
a T,
man.
though,
Yeah,
you know?
that's like my grandma. My
Yeah.
grandma's the same way, dude.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you just can't. You can only give her so much of the real world aspect.
Right, because like you don't want to like fucking ruin them,
Right,
you know?
dude, yeah.
'Cause
I'm
everything's
over here
so-
thinking raunchy ass shit all
Yeah.
the time, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't really say.
Like
that."
there's a beauty into how those guys think,
Right.
you
Well,
know?
it's like the thing. It's
Yeah.
like they ask
Ignorance
you a
is
question.
bliss
They
type
ask you a
thing,
question
yeah.
like, "Well, I'm gonna lie to you because I know you don't want the real answer.
Right.
I don't want like I had my mom ask me a question. I don't remember what it was, and I was like, we were talking about something. Like something came up, and she goes, asked me a question. I go, well, do you really want me to tell you? And she goes, no, no,
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
And I go,
good. See, she already knew the answer. She didn't need to hear you. You know.
she
that's-
didn't want to like hear me say it. It's
Right.
like, you know what?
And it's so funny because a
And
lot.
like her perspective is probably like way less of what I was gonna tell her.
Right.
And I even thought I was like, I don't want to lie to you. I was like, well, do you really want to know the answer? Like, I'll tell you. Like, you know what? It is what it is. Do you really want to know the answer? And it's like, well, I would like you to tell me, but I don't think I would want to actually know what it is. So, no, I'm okay. And I was like, all right, leave it at that.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we went off on the tangent there.
God, that was long.
Yeah.
It was a
Clay's
good
gonna be
tangent,
back
though.
to
Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
dude. Oakland, man.
Fuck. Okay,
Just stay the
so
fuck away from Oakland.
so we're
That's
going-
the
we're
basis
going
of that
into-
story.
Marshawn Lynch is the only good thing to come out of
Yeah.
Oakland, just to let you guys know.
Yeah, exactly.
okay, we
I'll
left
dance with them
off
for
on AL West. AL West.
Well, he's
So-
gonna pull it back up. I already forgot where we were. We were
we
AL
at.
got
West.
done.
We're only at the AL West.
AL
Fucking
West. I think that obviously the Astros are the front runner.
Yeah.
They haven't gotten any weaker. Their experience, they just won a freaking World Series.
Verlander is gonna
He's going to be just
be
as
hyped
good.
as fuck.
Right.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that they're going to be phenomenal, and I really worry that the Angels just because, like I said, our bench players.
Well,
are-
I see the Mariners or the Angels
Right.
slipping into that other wild
maybe
card.
even the Rangers, but the Rangers dumped off a ton
What
this
I-
season.
yeah, what I see
they were
about
like,
that
They
take
signed
decision-
Tim
everybody.
Lincecum, dude. They're fucking golden.
Yeah, well, what
As
I
a
see
reliever,
about like,
but he's doing well from what I hear. He's pitching
As a
well.
reliever,
is he doing well?
he does well
Okay.
in his old age.
Right. But I heard because he's pitching spring training right now, isn't he? He got invited. Yeah, I heard that he's
Yeah.
had a couple of good outings. So
Well,
that's
what I
off the
see
him.
is,
That's
like-
how he was in that World Series in
Right.
2012. He came straight out of the bullpen and was fucking lights out.
Dude,
So-
with a guy like that, man, there's okay. I'm a very firm believer in pitching takes a certain body type, and there's
and
guys
he didn't have it.
right. There's
Yeah.
guys who can get by with smaller body type, like what's his name, the guy who threw 88 miles an hour, but freaking
Maddox?
spot, yeah, Maddox. Maddox
Yeah.
had smaller body, but
But
he could get away with it because he
also,
hit
yeah,
his
every
location.
single spot that he needed to.
but he also didn't have an unorthodox pitching mechanics.
right, and he wasn't throwing 96 miles an
He
hour.
threw a certain way where it was like, hey, you know what? This is longevity for my arm.
Right.
I'm not sore after a game. I still ice, but I
Mhm.
still do it. Like, I'm not terrible. I also grew up throwing a bunch of pitches
Right.
in that kind of school of mindset of like, hey, if you throw a bunch, the Japanese mindset, throw a bunch, your arm's going to build up strength,
Right.
especially as you're younger.
Right.
Compared to like the westernized culture, hey, you only throw a little bit and then you stop because your body's growing and developing and all hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
It's you can see a little bit of both.
Right.
But yeah, he grew up in that like, hey, you know what? I can spot. I have control of every single pitch, and I take care of my arm. I take care of my body.
Well, it's like that old baseball cliche: a well-placed fastball is still the best pitch in baseball,
Right.
as long as you place it right, and
Too
it doesn't
bad.
even have to be fast.
Too bad the MLB doesn't draft according to such.
Yeah.
That's
The
true.
MLB's mantra is how hard can you throw? That's
Yeah.
it.
How
That's-
far
that's
can
what
you
they
hit
want.
it, and how hard can you throw?
Right. How far? It doesn't matter how many times out of 10 you hit it. It's if you get it 1 out of 1,000 to go 1,000 feet, we'll take you.
Yeah,
It's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah, if you
It's all because of money and ratings. And
Right.
People want the spectacular. They want the,
They want the guy that
unorthodox.
throws 104 miles an
And,
hour.
Right.
for the people who are fanatics of like baseball, love the culture and everything about it. It's like
They're
that's
not
really-
trying. They're not
that's
trying to
really-
appeal to him.
Yeah, it's like that's really
Yeah,
cool.
because we're always gonna love
Yeah,
baseball. It's
exactly.
not like we're going anywhere.
Yeah, no, it's like we love to see it, but it's not like we're gonna stop watching it for the home runs. But you have the people who turn like it's why they're trying to shorten games down.
Right.
It's like, hey, we need to cut games down because people are tailing off in the 8th and 9th inning.
Did you hear that in
It's
the
like, fuck off.
extra innings they're thinking about starting with a runner on second?
Yeah, the last out of the previous inning starts on second,
Yeah.
just like you do in softball and in
Little League.
Minor league.
minor league, and tournament ball. Like when you're growing up, it's like, okay, we're in the extra innings. Put your last out, or
Right.
they even have the one
to speed it up.
Or they even have the one where it's like, we're really trying to speed it up. Pick the order of your lineup where you want to go.
In the 9th inning.
Yeah.
I saw that, and I think that one's fucking. I don't like that one.
Bullshit. Yeah.
I think it's bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Because okay, Yankees bottom of the 9th, they're at home. Who do they have? They have fucking Stanton, Judge,
Right.
and they get to pick. Like,
Right.
fuck that, dude.
Exactly.
If you have your last guy, make him fucking hit,
Right.
dude. That's how baseball is.
That's how it's
Where'd
supposed
you
to be.
end in the fucking lineup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you landed.
That's where strategy comes in. There's no fucking strategy in that.
Right.
Yeah.
There's none.
Right. There isn't because you just get to pick.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh, okay.
best guy. Okay, that's easy.
You can literally pick the top 3 hitters in every single team
Yeah.
that you want.
Right.
Oh,
and
yeah.
everybody knows who they
Okay,
are.
I'm
There's
gonna
no
go
strategy.
3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, everyone pretty much just
Oh,
goes
and I gotta
3,
put a
4,
guy
5.
on first. I'm gonna put
Oh,
my
see,
number 2 guy.
even one guy.
Okay,
Whoever the
I'm gonna get
fastest
Billy-
one
It's
is.
gotta
Yeah.
go in order.
I'm gonna get-
Second,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, does it?
So
then
they
now-
can't put Billy Hamilton on second.
Well,
No.
he's just gonna become the 2-hitter.
So
all
let's
of a
just
sudden.
say,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. But let's just say your 7-hitter got out last, and then you go in. Normally, okay, your 8-hitter comes up to hit. Well, they'd be like, no, I want my 2-hitter on second base. I want my 3-hitter coming up first, my 4-hitter up second, and my 5-hitter up third.
That
We
just
can't get
changes
it
the
done.
game.
Yeah.
Changes it.
And
Doesn't make it
this is my
baseball.
thing is why I've always loved baseball is because it's pretty much been the same game since the 1800s,
Right.
dude.
You have a couple of different
Right, you
things,
have a
but
little bit
there's-
of video replay. You
Right.
have, and I actually like the video replay.
I do
It's
too.
not
I
bad.
think that's
Some
an
people don't, and
improvement.
I totally get their
I
point.
do
but
think it's an improvement, though.
Those are the purists who are like, don't fucking change it. You
Well,
know,
and
hey,
I
it
understand the
helps.
human error aspect. You want to see human error, but it's like, come on.
not when it
yeah.
comes to like
Exactly.
an out.
Right.
You can easily go, oh, that's not now. We
Right.
fucked up.
Well,
Yeah.
and when you go from the NFL to where you see, okay, they reversed the call that was wrong, and then
Yeah.
you go and you look at the MLB and you see the instant replay before they had instant replay or whatever, and you see the call like the one that got that
The
pitcher,
perfect game,
the
yeah.
the perfect game that got fucked up.
Oh yeah,
And-
Jim Joyce was
Yeah,
the
and he's
umpire.
out there crying after because
And
he
he's
feels
like,
so
he's
bad. It's
apologizing.
like,
He goes, I
that would have
wish
never
we,
had to happen.
He goes,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
wish we
Yeah.
had instant replay when I
That's
made
what
that
sparked
call.
the
Right.
whole instant replay debate was
Right.
that Jim Joyce game, and that was a Tampa Bay game. Who was I forgot who was pitching.
It was he was a
Detroit.
Detroit
It was a
pitcher,
Detroit
and it was
pitcher. That was it.
son of a bitch. He has like
Starts with an S.
Is
Hispanic guy.
yeah, he's a Hispanic guy. He's got
And
some
he was
weird
super
last
cool
name.
about it too.
Right.
Like he
When
was
he
like,
looked over. He came. Well, obviously, you're gonna be super cool about it when Chevrolet goes. You get to pick up a car. Pick your car since you did.
Yeah, but dude,
At
a
the same
car
time,
I would pick
that
my
you-
car and they'd be like, "Yo, fuck Jim
Yeah,
Joyce."
Not only that, but it's like a car that I could buy any day of the week because I have the money to buy it, or a fucking perfect game in the history of Major League Baseball.
But
I
that-
would rather have a perfect game than a
Right.
car,
But yeah, that
honestly.
one always goes down as an asterisk.
Right.
Everyone,
Exactly.
but yeah,
I don't. Nobody wants an asterisk.
Yeah, but he goes down as the guy of like, you had a perfect game, but before instant replay, it got taken away.
Right.
Oh, that's kind of shitty.
Everyone's like, he's a perfect game guy.
Yeah.
No one goes, oh, that guy who like should have had a perfect game. No one goes like, that guy didn't throw a perfect game. They're like, he should have. He had a perfect game.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's the
All
way
right,
everyone
so
thinks
for the
about
NL
Yeah,
bros,
throw that up.
All right, sorry, we're getting on so many side tangents.
Dude, this is good,
I like
bro.
it.
I like
though.
it.
I can
Yeah,
go
sorry.
forever on
I know.
baseball, man. Oh, that's a tough
Ugh,
division.
yikes! That's
No, that's-
probably the shittiest division. Well, except for the
Nationals.
Nats.
Dude, I'm
Nats.
telling you, the Phillies, bro.
Really?
You need to look out for the Phillies this year. They have some of the best young guys.
Yeah, I
that
was just
you're
gonna say.
see.
I know they're super young, but I just
Their-
can't.
Their
think
staff is legit. If
I'm
they
telling
have
you
healthy
right
guys,
now-
their staff is legit.
Right
Pitching
now,
staff?
it goes
Oh
Nationals.
shit!
Phillies are coming in with that young roster, but what like makes me hesitant about them coming in even second
Mets are
in
gonna
that
be
division
garbage.
is because of how young they are.
Mets, Braves, and Marlins, dude. That's gonna be the poop of the fucking
Hey,
NL.
the Marlins though.
But
like,
how young they are?
Yeah,
I can see
Nationals
that.
win a playoff spot before.
Well, they're gonna win. They're gonna win the division. I'm just saying.
They'll win
Phillies
the
are gonna
division
be-
before the All Star break.
Right. The Phillies are gonna be the surprise. They're not gonna win it before the
I
All Star.
know.
I don't know.
I
Yeah.
think the Phillies will be in contention. I really do. I think that they have.
They'll be the surprise team of the year.
What's that guy's name?
They would. That's true. Maybe give them the
Michael
surprise.
Franco. They have that
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
So you know.
Oh yeah, that dude that fucking crushes it, right?
Right.
He's a hitter.
Yeah, he fucking
Yeah,
mashes, bro.
he was a fucking really good hitter.
But
Last year.
besides that, let's be
Marlins
honest.
are not going to be good
No.
for 5 years, but in 5 years they're going to be fucking amazing.
Hopefully
I would hope so.
Jeter gets
Yeah.
his shit together.
Fucking
Or that shit together. He's got his shit together. He's a fucking
yeah, like that's part of the thing I'm thinking of too. Is like Jeter cleaned house, but like
Right.
Jeter knows what he's doing.
He does.
You know?
He knows
I would
his-
hope so.
And let's be honest, bro. If you came in and you partly bought a team that had a culture of years of what's
Mediocrity.
going on. Right, exactly.
Except for
What's
I guess
going on.
2002. Or
Right,
whatever.
the year that who'd they even play? But they had
I don't
Mike
know.
Lowell and they had
Josh Beckett.
right, Martinez.
Who was the big hitter they had? It wasn't Manny, was it?
No, it was
They had some
Miguel
Hispanic guy.
Cabrera.
Oh yeah, Miguel Cabrera. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
That was Miggy at his fucking prime.
Yeah.
Eh,
He had some clutch hits in that postseason
yeah,
too.
I say his prime, but the year he hit his triple crown, that might have been the best Miggy year of all time.
That's true.
Because, dude, you couldn't pitch to the guy.
No.
I was watching him in the playoffs that year. As a pitcher, I was sitting there just kind of laughing. I'm like, what the fuck would I do here? There's
Yeah.
nothing I could do. He would hit the ball a foot outside, a foot inside, and it'd still go off the wall. It's like, dude, okay, this guy's something special.
You know how I pitched to him that year?
Walk him.
Fucking
Yeah. Ball one.
Walk a
Ball
walk
two.
No, I got at least contest, and you know what? It's gonna end up to a walk anyways. But I contest it. It's gonna be fastball up and in,
Dude,
maybe
see
hit
ya.
him. Maybe no, like
That
way,
year
like,
he might have wheelhouse.
Yeah, exactly. Dude,
Like-
that boy was hitting everything. He was
No, but I'm
Vladimir
just saying-
Guerrero plus
I'm
some.
saying I pitch him up and in, like top strike zone, like up at the hands though. You know what? He yanks it. You know
Yeah.
what? Fuck it.
That's true.
Tip the hat. Good for you, sir.
Right.
I'm surprised you hit it. I wouldn't have touched it. then I probably would have gone
Tip
like,
your cap to him if he
Yeah.
hits it. Yeah.
and then I probably would have gone, since my own left-handed changeup go down and away, like try and start it at like mid-thigh
Mhm.
where it drops like in the dirt. You know, he's probably going to take that for a ball because he's seen everything.
Right.
All right, cool, take it, whatever. Then, you know, I'll probably go.
God, you put a lot of thought into this.
I was gonna say.
Go ahead. Continue.
He sits in his bed at night.
He's like,
If
how
I
would
had
I
to
pitch
pitch to
to
Miguel
Miguel
Cabrera?"
Cabrera?
Dude, that's every night. That's what
Triple
kept me.
crown year specifically.
Yeah.
No, that's what kept me up not all year.
He wrote like a thesis paper
Yeah,
on it.
right.
Do you want me to bring it? I got it.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
Clay will
let me-
pull it
hey,
up.
let me pull my resume on
Yeah.
Miguel Cabrera's triple.
Oh,
No, so
dude.
then I
I
probably
broke
go.
down his tendencies to a T.
No, there's no fucking tendencies you can do that year.
That's
No,
right.
exactly.
I'm sorry, continue.
So then I'd probably go four seam because it's got a little bit of a run back into him with the way I'd throw, just knowing from how I
So
throw.
you'd run four seam, but like
Four-
coming
it'd
out
go
a
four-
little bit.
See, that's why I'd go first pitch, fastball up and in because it maybe
Back him off the plate, dude.
Well, no, he's already off the plate enough. It's just his swing is so sweet and smooth.
That's
he can
true.
cover that inside plate, but I'd throw it probably like inside, but it's gonna tail in. So I'm hoping to maybe fisticuffs jam him, so it's like a weak fly ball to like a Texas leaguer. If he gets on with a base hit with that, or he hits it out, I couldn't do anything about that.
I just throw Miguel Cabrera poop. I sit there and I throw a shit.
Well, that's what I'm
'Cause
saying.
that's
It's
what you
like-
do as a pitcher. If you've got a really good hitter, you go, okay, I'm going to give you the worst fucking off speed you've ever seen. That's
Yeah.
barely a strike. Barely a strike. And it looks like shit. And then guys start getting really anxious, and then they get on their front foot, and that's when you start getting pop-ups and ground balls.
Yeah.
But let's
Got
be
it.
honest, Miguel Cabrera, you're not going to...
That year.
That year,
Right.
you're just gonna walk it.
Right.
Dude, I just remember playing when you were at Butte, and I came up to bat facing you. I was like, all right, you got good stuff. You don't pitch backwards. The whole time I've known you, you never pitch backwards. You're probably going to throw me, knowing me, hard, forcing fastball in, just because you know I like it away. You're not going to pitch me away. This whole bat's gonna be in, and I'm expecting it, and all of a sudden, fucking beautiful curveball. I'm like, I'm not taking it. I'm expecting fastball. If I swing this, it's gonna be chopper in the dirt.
Right.
I'll take it for a strike. I'll wear it. And then after that,
That's all I was in college, was backwards.
Yeah, but
it's
like,
kind of how you have to be.
But like, we didn't hang out like talk after games like we had growing up.
Right.
From Dust Devils
Right.
to high school, it's like, hey.
But let's be honest. In high school in Reno area, I was a fucking fireballer throwing 82 miles an hour. It was funny as fuck. People are like, "Dope, Jake Means," and it's like I go out there and it's like, and I'm like,
I never from like just like playing with you. I was like, he's not a fireball. Everyone was like, dude, he throws fucking home. Like, he's not a fireball.
That's what I'm saying.
I was like, he was firm. He was
what
firm.
I heard
and
was
he spotted up.
I didn't throw fast. I threw heavy.
Yeah.
I got a lot of ground balls.
That's why I described it.
You could feel it when you hit my ball. It was like you felt it. You know what I mean? I don't know what the fuck that means.
No, okay. I asked the catcher because they're like, dude, this guy throws fucking heavy, and I was like, okay, I know like what you're talking about, but like, break it down to me from like catching. What does a heavy guy feel like? And like, it feels like when someone throws you the ball, you see it, it's going exactly where it is. You know, like they spot up. When it hits you, it's a thump, and it comes back into your chest. And it's not like they're throwing it, it's not like a surprising speed, but what it is it's just like they're throwing a heavier ball than what it is.
I don't understand.
So it's got like
so weird to me.
It's
just
5
ounces. The ball's 5 ounces.
Yeah, it's got 5 ounces, but the way it hits is like either your body is relaxed enough or something, but where you hit it, it's just like, ugh.
Right.
Like it's a lot more effort to catch a heavy ball pitcher than it is a guy who's starting 90.
Right.
Because your body's prepared.
That's what I've heard. It's just.
But like a heavy ball pitcher is like, ugh, and it's harder. And they say it's harder to frame a heavy ball pitcher because it's like, fuck.
Maybe
like,
it's just because I was just getting as high as I could.
Yeah. So you threw that curveball, and then like I forget what I think I like weak fly out to like right center, and the center fielder caught it. And I go in the dugout, and like our hitting coach goes, "Why the fuck didn't you hit that first pitch curveball? It's sitting right there hanging." And I go, "Coach, I was looking for the fastball." And he goes, "That's fucking bullshit. You should be up there trying to hit the first pitch that's in the zone that you see." I was like, what kind of mindset? You're a college.
Who in baseball these days fucking swings at the first pitch? So, but like, I feel like 90% of the time, like you see guys and the pitchers winding up and they're already like this.
Have you seen Moneyball?
Yeah.
So the whole concept is see as many as you can.
Yeah, exactly.
You're wasting pitches.
Yeah.
The more pitches,
pitch count.
Yeah.
Pitch count.
Exactly.
Yep.
And dude, as a pitcher, our
gets in your head a little bit.
It does, and our whole thing was 12 pitches or less per inning.
Yeah. Yep.
And then you could stay in the game. But as long as if you kept getting 15 plus, it was like you're done, dude.
Yeah,
you're gonna
guys that have one like 25 pitch inning, dude, you're like, fuck. How do you move on from that?
Right,
you know?
exactly.
But like from a hitter mindset, when I would hit, because I did both ways in college, it was like I predominantly hit instead of pitching. But it was like, okay, the way I like to see it is these guys are trying to do like I also knew it from a pitching standpoint. Their goal is 12 pitches or less. They want 4 pitches per batter.
Right.
Ideally, you want to throw 4 pitches per batter. If you can get them out less, great. If you're going over,
that's no good.
That's all you haven't done your job.
Right.
So my mindset was like, hey, this guy's gonna try and throw me his best pitch, most likely, most command of. We're JUCO league. He's gonna throw me a fastball, either spotted up, me being left-handed. I knew he knew otherwise. But left-handed hitters usually like it low and in. They're probably going to pitch me away. So I knew my best pitch was probably the first pitch, fastball. They're going to try and bury one in on the outside corner. That's my pitch to hammer. Mm. So that's usually why I went up there with the mindset, okay, best pitch is the first pitch because what's the best pitch in baseball?
First pitch. Fucking fastball down the key.
Yeah.
Ron, you should know this, dude. This is chaining mentality. What's the best pitch in baseball?
The one you can hit.
False.
I mean, he says a hanging curve, doesn't he?
First pitch strike.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
The best pitch in baseball is the first pitch strike. It fucks your mind when you hear that.
Right, because what you really need to look for is the mistake. That's what it is in fucking college. All you want to do is you're going to get maybe 1, maybe 2 mistakes per at-bat as a hitter, and you just wait to get off on the mistake pitch.
Yeah. And usually
let's move on.
Okay, we can carry on this. Yeah.
MLB
Central. Who we got?
Really,
Brewers.
That's ugly.
Cardinals.
Cardinals.
You're going Cardinals?
Mm-hmm.
I'll go with you, Troy. I'll go with the Cubs.
I think I'm going Cubbies, but it's not by much. It's
Right.
gonna be like
Hey, I will say this though: the Brewers are going to be a
Much
fucking
better.
pretty goddamn
I'm
good
saying
team.
it's gonna
Yeah.
go Brewers, Cardinals, Cubs is your top 3 teams that division. Pirates and Reds kind of irrelevant this year.
Right.
The Pirates are in rebuilding mode hard after they get
Pirates
rid of
and
McCutcheon and
Reds.
Garrett Cole.
Right.
Reds, they have Billy Hamilton and Joey Votto.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know why
Essentially-
they still
essentially.
have Joey Votto, but
They need to trade him for prospects.
yeah,
When
he's-
he was
he's
at
just
market,
too
when he was
legit.
at market value, they should have traded him.
Fucking Cubbies.
Now,
What are you guys doing this year? Have you guys gotten rid of anybody?
no, we picked up
You-
Chatwood.
You Darvish. Chatwood was a great
I
signing. I
forgot
wish the
about
Giants
Darvish.
would have jumped on that shit.
We got Chatwood, you Darvish. The only person I wish we kind of like pick up, but only if the pricing is right, is Arrieta. Only if the pricing's right. And I see him maybe being a
won't get
pre All-Star break starter, and then after the All-Star break, phase him into a long relief situation.
You're worried about?
No, that's what I would want. That's what I want. Cubs to pick up Jake Arrieta.
Don't you guys have Arrieta?
He's free agent right
He's
now.
a free agent.
Oh, okay.
No one's signing him for some fucking reason.
Well, no one signed him because he's looking for a 4-year deal because he knows he's on that tail end, but only people have been offering that 1 year. So he doesn't want a 1-year deal because he kind of knows that, what is he, like 45? Or not 45, 35?
35, yeah.
He's like 35.
Yeah, 45. He's Jamie Moyer.
He's like 35. He's like
good luck.
He's like 35 right now. He's kind of like on that tail end of the pitching career. He's
Right.
losing a little bit of velo. He's still got command of like control, but you know everyone's like, "Hey, we'll give you 1 year," and he goes, "No, dude, I want a multi-year contract."
Mm-hmm. I mean, I can understand it. He's
Oh,
got
He's earned it.
exactly. That's my thing. Is the Cubs should give it
Dude.
to him, but as a business, you wouldn't. I wouldn't give that guy a 4-year.
Dude,
I'd give it
no.
2,
two,
maybe
2,
3.
maybe, yeah. David Bodie's doing a fucking stellar year right now in spring training.
Yeah.
Granted,
I
it's
saw
spring
that.
training, but he's having a
Giants
fucking
have
phenomenal
guys
year.
like that.
Dude,
too.
that infield, man. What
The infield,
fuck?
the one
That's
pickup,
insane right there.
Addison
Yeah.
Russell, fucking Rizzo, Zobrist.
we got
Baez.
Javi, Bodie,
Baez.
Bryant.
Fuck.
Stella is
You
a
can
good.
put Zobrist wherever, dude. He's gonna play good.
Right.
We got Almora Jr., Hap, who's probably going to hit leadoff.
Yeah, but your outfield isn't all that great. Hayward's your best.
Hayward's
Yeah.
Almora Jr. could be a Gold Glove if he started enough games. He's turning into that player.
You got slow ass.
We got
Schwarber can
No,
hit.
dude, Schwarber
Well,
is
he can
slimmed
hit.
down. He's lost
Oh,
like
has he?
30 pounds.
Oh
He's
shit.
just packed on muscle.
Well, then we'll see if he can still hit.
Hey, pull up
That's true. Huh?
2017, 2018.
Jason Hayward is 6'5". Dude,
Yeah.
that guy's a fucking
Pull up
savage.
2017, 2018 Kyle Schwarber pictures. Dr. Clay.
How do you feel about John Lester changing up his throw to first? He's gonna bounce past
pass
like
it over.
Scottie Pippen, dude.
That's what
Well,
ESPN said.
He didn't do it ever, so at least
It's better
he's
than
doing
nothing.
it. Yeah, at least he's doing it.
I want like a side-by-side one if you can. It's like a
Of what
20,
it used to look
okay,
like.
17 to 18 Schwarber.
He doesn't look
Body.
that bad in that top.
That's
left.
it.
That's
Right
Hap.
there.
That's Ian Happ.
No, right there, right there, he doesn't look that bad. He looks slimmer,
But like,
so he might have
okay,
slimmed down.
scroll it down a little bit. Okay,
But I mean, he's
that-
not fat.
that
he's
middle
just,
left
No,
one.
he's not fat.
He's
just big.
never been like fat.
He's a
Go,
thick guy.
He's just a big dude.
Yeah.
He should be playing
okay,
catcher.
so top
honestly.
right,
Right.
you got up right there right now. Click on that one.
He's just not a very.
So look at and then pull up like 2017 spring training Schwarber or something like that.
No, I see what you're saying. He's
He-
definitely
dude,
slimming.
I
You
like
can
Kyle
see it.
Schwarber a lot. I'm not trying to shit on him, but
You look at him
I mean,
now
yeah.
though, and he does not look like that guy anymore.
I don't know. I don't mind Schwarber, but he's a hitter primarily, and it would definitely benefit him if they could just DH him most of the time.
It would. But
He would
what
be a much
right
better-
now, I
yeah.
think what fucked him last year was they tried to put him in the mindset of being a leadoff hitter, which I think if
Why?
anything,
Type
he's
in
more,
spring
he's more of a,
training
yeah,
Schwarber.
he's more of a 2-hitter.
Yeah.
If you're trying to put him at the top of the order, I'd say he's more like a 5-6 guy.
5, 6,
See, this
7.
is so weird because there's some pictures where he's fucking massive, and then there's other
No,
pictures.
No,
where
these are
he's a
all last
skinny guy.
year. That's when he tore his ACL. That one picture, him catching the ball. No, go. Have you done? Yeah, that's when he tore his ACL. Go.
I had him on my fantasy team that year, so fucking.
Is this
thanks,
spring training,
Kyle.
Schwarber? Dr. Clay?
What's that?
Go spring training, Kyle Schwarber.
It's a weird name to spell.
Yeah, just go images.
Shopping.
I don't want no images. Okay, look at him. That's Rizzo.
That might be a spring training.
Yeah, no, he
Look,
looks
he's
he
way,
looks way thinner
Yeah, look at that one
Yeah.
where he's hitting in the cage.
Yeah, he looks-
Second one down, left, far left.
right
Yeah.
there.
That's him now. He's super.
Okay,
Dude, all he's
you're
done
right.
Is this offseason is work out. He's probably lost 20 or 30 pounds, but just packed on muscle. So
He's like Pablo Sandoval, but he actually kept the fucking weight down.
Pablo's just
dedicated
a lazy
to it.
bitch. Pablo's a lazy
Yeah,
bitch. If
I'll
you
agree
can't
with
fucking diet and exercise with millions of dollars, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
mom makes
Fuck the best that dude.
enchiladas, bro.
I don't give a shit.
Trust me, man.
Buy a trainer who slaps those enchiladas out of your fucking face and
Trust
gives
me,
you some
dude.
fucking kale. God damn it, that pissed me off.
All right, let's
No.
go back to.
I'm sure
totally
you know.
fully get it. And I watched that dude hit 3 home runs in the World Series. I watched it right at fucking Levi's Landing, and I still hate the motherfucker.
Hey,
So,
let's go back to our
yeah, because
schedule.
now we got
So we got NL West.
NL West coming up, and
Fuck, Ryan's gonna be depressed.
yep, you're not gonna like what I have to say, but I'm gonna fucking say it.
Hey, just pound your beer. You'll be all right. What we got?
Please.
What do you want me to? Just the roster for
The
MLB leagues or whatever you have.
Whatever
up
you
earlier.
had up, because that's the last division we have.
Yeah, that's the last one we got.
After all our
Yeah, this one right here. All of our sidebars.
Dodgers.
So we got Padres, Rockies, Dodgers, Giants, Diamondbacks, Dodgers.
Dodgers. Giants. No offense, Ryan, but you guys picked up some old fucks.
Here's the thing, dude.
McCutcheon's still
Okay.
good.
But yeah.
So is Longoria. Well, what I like about Longoria,
They're still good,
he's
but they're-
old. But hey, if
He
we
gets
can,
RBIs.
what
That's
I'm
the best you
saying,
can say about the
pull-
guy.
Hell,
Hell,
up
that's
his stats
the
up.
best
You
we've
look-
had, honestly.
but if you look at his stats, he's never had a giant slump year. Yeah, he's had like a consistent drop off, but he's always been a consistently
that's true.
good
And he
hitter.
bats over 300.
He's
Mhm.
well, he's had like 1 year where he was like
He batted
284.
yeah.
Like 284 is what he batted. So I'd say this may be like a high 200s year for him.
Maybe I just have a bias because he's been on the Rays and he's never really.
He's never had the look that he probably should have being
Right.
on the Rays. Yeah, if you can. So we're all good with. Okay, now who we got for NL wild cards? We never really discussed that. We said we got
Oh, my.
Houston, we got Cleveland, Yankees,
I
wild
can
card,
see-
Angels, Red Sox.
Right. We
Division-wise.
haven't picked a wild card. I'll say Brewers.
I'll
for
say
one.
Brewers.
I'm gonna say this is the year
And I say the Diamondbacks get in. I say the Giants
Yeah.
miss.
I don't know. You guys
postseason.
I
got
agree.
rid of JT.
What's
Or
that?
JD. You got rid of JD Martinez.
The Giants?
Diamondbacks did.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know how well the Diamondbacks do. They lost a lot. They still got Goldschmidt, but he can't carry the whole team, which he's been trying to do for the past
Well, they
3
still
years.
have Arenado.
No,
Oh,
That's
no, that's
Rockies.
Rockies. My bad, dude. Sorry.
I'd
See,
say
the Rockies' problem is they're up at 5,000 feet, so the ball flies 5,000
Yeah,
feet.
that's why
Yeah.
Tulowitzki hit so many home runs he did.
Mhm.
that's why I'm saying I think this year goes to NL Central for both the wild cards with either Cubs, Cardinals, or Brewers. No one in the NL East.
The
is gonna win a wild
Giants
card.
will be in the mix for the wild card. I will say that. They'll
They
be in
will.
the hunt.
I'm gonna say
They'll
this
fight.
right now. I'm gonna say nobody other than Nationals comes out of the East because you got to have somebody out of the East.
I agree. I mean, they're sad.
Then the NL West, it's gonna be Dodgers.
It's
Then-
going to be Dodgers. I'll say
Give the
that.
Padres
On
like
record.
2 years, they're gonna be competing. This year they might like show some grit and like compete. I think it's gonna probably
They're still a couple years away from being relevant, though.
that'll be a tight division if you took out the Dodgers.
I'm just really excited to see the Yankees. I honestly am. We haven't seen a lineup like this in a while where there's
Since
like,
the A-Rod,
Yeah.
Jeter,
Well, dude.
Rivera.
Obviously, Jeter.
and I hate the Yankees. but
Jeter is
still,
always
like-
an evil empire.
I honestly
you know?
hate the Yankees more
That's
than I
why
hate
he
the
traded
Dodgers. and that's
everybody
saying
away.
something.
What's that?
Jeter's obviously always gonna be evil empire for life, man. That's why
Mhm.
he traded everyone away.
No. Dude, I was just telling him. Okay, so if you took over a team, you became the owner of a team, you wouldn't want a culture of mediocrity. You know what
No.
I mean? You wouldn't want to keep that around. So I would flush everything out.
Yeah.
And I
True.
would start because, dude, I'm Derek Jeter. I'm a winner.
Well, look at the Astros.
Right.
That's what they did.
It's
like
exactly.
what 4 years ago.
Right.
Now
But
they're
then
World
also
Series
look
champions.
at the best thing that the Astros did for themselves was leave the NL Central.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
it's
true.
left
not.
the NL Central.
It's
and
not
went to the NL
necessarily. It
West.
wasn't necessarily up to them though.
No, but that was the best thing that could have happened for that franchise.
Right.
Yeah.
Leave the NL Central. You're in a bunch of teams that compete. Like for years, it was like it's us and the Cubs competing for last place. but the Cubs have a culture of winning, like in the past. Like,
Yeah,
not
but
World
see-
Series, but of winning.
Mm-hmm. But if you look at the Cubs, they chop shop too. They were like,
Well,
all right, we're getting
Theo Epstein came
everybody.
in. Theo Epstein goes, "Hey, you know what? I like what you're
Theo.
drafting for mediocrity.
Right,
This will get you to compete.
right.
I don't want to compete. I
Right.
want to win."
Yeah. Ay. All right. Well, that was good.
What is
Hopefully
this?
our
What's this that you just pulled up?
Oh, sweet, dude.
Oh, nice.
Dude, I'm not under a time crunch, man.
what is your
Did he send you a
You
notification,
got this
Clay?
one? Yeah, I did try it.
No, I've had that.
Oh, okay.
I love that.
Oh,
What's
that's good.
your what was I gonna say? There was something about baseball.
Are we going into the, playoffs?
Yeah.
Postseason?
Playoffs.
Playoffs.
Talking postseason?
No, I was thinking about a player. Oh well, I forgot it.
It's alright. Hey, you said you were saving your random thought for this podcast. What we got?
Oh yeah, my random thought's kind of weird because I have this a lot. It had to do with it's kind of similar to what we were talking about before we started with like walk-up songs. But I was sitting in my car while I was driving, and I was listening to the new Black Panther album,
Yeah.
and the title of that one song is "The King's Dead."
Yeah.
And I was just driving, and I thought, man, if I'm a UFC fighter, dude, and I'm fighting for the belt, and I'm an up-and-comer, this is my walk-up song. Is the
Ooh,
King
okay,
is
yeah,
Dead.
if
That would
you're-
be mean, right?
If you're an
That was my
up-and-comer,
random
yeah.
thought. It was kind of weird, but
That'd be
that
a,
was it.
that'd be a good
Yeah,
ass walk-in
exactly.
song, yeah.
See, I think a good walk-up song is "God's Gonna Cut You Down."
Yeah, that's
As
a
a
good walk-up
UFC
song.
fighter or anybody, "God's Gonna Cut You Down" Johnny Cash. That's my opinion, though. I also thought that would have been a beautiful like walk-out song as a pitcher.
When you're a closer.
Closer, yeah, or even like just
Even starting. I told you I went to that Mariners game where King Felix came out to avenge Sevenfold, Hail to the King. That was
Really?
fucking tight.
Hell
man.
yeah.
oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dude, did you see that's what I was gonna say. Garrett Hampson, a kid, he came from Reno High.
Yeah. What's
He's
he
playing
doing?
spring training for the Rockies this year.
No shit,
I didn't know that.
dude. Good for
he hit
him.
a home run off of Matt Schumacher, which is a starter for the Angels.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck. dude.
Schumacher's
Good
not
for
a
him.
bad pitcher
he's
either.
not. He's slow, but dude, this kid,
He had
He
some
was-
success in.
Dude, he was
he's a
he was-
year younger than us. This Hampson kid. He's
But he was
5'10", dude. 5'10". And this kid went to Long Beach State out of high school and became his rookie year. He became Defensive Player of the Year
Mhm.
in fucking one of the best, leagues for baseball. And then the second year, I'm pretty sure he got the first year. That's what it was. The first year was like rookie or whatever. first
Rookie of the
player.
year, yeah.
Yeah,
first
exactly.
first team rookie of the year. So
And then the second year was he got defensive, and then he got drafted.
yeah, well, I mean that was a kid that like we played against, and it was like, it's like when you play against somebody, I'm sure like when you play football, it's like that dude is just on another level compared
know.
to us.
Right. And so
And it's
I know,
like
I can
he's
tell
a
you.
and he
stud.
was small. He
But
was small.
Yeah,
but
it was
he's
one of
like-
those ones where you looked at the frame and
That's
you're
short.
like, what the fuck, dude?
Right.
He had everything. To
I went to Boise for Sun Devils when I was coaching. We went to a Boise tournament, and we went to a double-A game over there, and they had Garrett Hampson playing there at the time. Dude, they have like 3 of his fucking family members working in their organization now. It's so weird. It's like, dude, is this kid really this good? Because I mean,
Right.
we thought he was.
We
but,
thought he was
like,
good, but this wasn't like in high school. You're
and
like,
it's
okay.
Reno.
But now he's like next level shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That and Joey Gallo. We saw Joey Gallo hit.
Fuck,
That was
okay.
fun.
Hit like a 500-foot bomb off a
Colton,
Colton, dude.
that was fun.
He went to
Oh,
Minogue,
shit.
right?
No, Gorman.
Bishop
Gore.
Gorman.
Okay, sorry, I always fuck that
The
up.
Devil School.
Yeah.
The devil.
Satan school, dude.
Yeah. I fucking hate that.
Oh,
God
fuck,
damn.
man.
You got a random thought?
Random thought.
You want to think about it?
Do you have one, Troy?
I do, yeah.
Go ahead. You do your thing.
My random thought is, okay, so you know how we're getting into the culture of self-driving automobiles?
Right.
Is it going to kind of turn into that culture of like, hey, when you turn 18, you're legally an adult. And when you're 21, you can legally drink. 16, you can legally sit behind the steering wheel of an automatic driving vehicle, just like most people kind of phase out of not knowing how to drive a stick shift. Granted, there are still some people who
Do
are
you
like,
think
hey,
people are going to lose the ability to drive?
of Correct. Like it's gonna be it's gonna phase into the point of not like maybe in our lifetimes of but like
well Rogan brought that he thinks it's only like 25 years away that no one's gonna drive.
But like it's gonna be a point where it's like you don't have to like remember when we're like, oh fuck, dude, I gotta take my driving test, I gotta learn how to parallel park. Well, cars parallel park for you now.
Yeah.
Oh, now I gotta take my driving test. Like I'm nervous about this. I gotta do parallel parking. I gotta like drive. I gotta pass. Oh,
the driver's test is gonna be like, can you read?
Right.
Yeah. Here's your license.
That all depends on what happens with the driver's test. I think that the more that the technology progresses with the driverless cars and the better they get, the less requirements you're gonna have to pass.
That's what I'm saying. Like, well,
so eventually.
But I'm saying is like gonna get to that point. Is it gonna get to that point where it's gonna be like, hey. You're not going to let like a 5-year-old get behind a vehicle by themselves. It's like, 16, you can legally be in the car by yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
So then it's like, I can sit behind.
It's a self-driving car.
It's and then, think about it. At that point, everyone else is in a self-driving car on automated stops, automatic speed limits, all this. And then, so it's just going to be like, all right, let's just sit here.
See, I think the speed limits will go way through the roof, too.
Yeah.
Driverless
think of like iRobot. Like,
right,
it's
because
like,
I'm
going in manual
be
mode.
Programmed perfectly. So it's going to be like, you know what I mean? There's going to be no more stoplights. There's all that shit.
Yeah.
You'll either have, like, stoplights just for, like, ebb and flow of traffic of like.
See, I don't think so though, because I really think that the computers will be able to just have the technology exactly to where it's going to be. You're going
everyone's
80
on the
miles
same
an hour.
track,
right? Exactly, but you have this much space between each car, so this can go through there, and then this one through there.
So that excuse I was late for work because of traffic is not gonna work.
Right? Exactly.
The only thing that makes me think that wouldn't be relevant is like you can drive down like a certain road where it's not very like heavily like populated with like cars. So if like we want 2 car lengths and like behind another car. What happens if you're going through, but then the timing's off because you don't have a car in front of you at 2 car lengths, and then this one has a bunch of cars. So
timing won't be up because the computer's already going to see that. Because the GPS and all the echolocation.
They'll probably still have like stoplight stands, but it's just going to be reading car like
exactly.
Well, and you're going to have like some sort of sensor on the front and back of your car, like if you're approaching
just like they do now.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be automated parking,
like
and then it'll go into like a parking spot, like your Jeep, and it'll be like all parking like numbers are just going to be like it's going to be like a numbered parking lot and be like you're parking in lot 43 today.
Right.
Boom. Right here.
Well, I think there'll be like.
I hope I get 43.
You think it's really bad and like parking places get super crowded? They're gonna create like filing cabinet systems where like they bring up a level, everybody parks in that level, and then they drop it underground, and then there's a new level or some shit like that.
Well, that's what I was kind of thinking of. Like you can pull in, it's like
dude, shit like this scares me, dude. I don't know why. Like this kind of shit.
It's coming, but it's not. So like everybody, I think the biggest thing that everybody does with a mistake is like, it's gonna happen in 5 years.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Yeah. Let's get it.
Chill out.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at Back to the Future. We were supposed to be fucking driving hover cars, according to Back to the Future.
Yakuta, bro.
Yeah, Yakuta, dude.
No, dude. I think what I would see first is like you still have your parking lots, but like it's not gonna be like painted strips anymore. It's gonna be like some like electromagnetic strip with a number.
Right.
And as you turn into your thing, it's like arriving at destination, and then all of a sudden like bling on your dash would be like you're in lot 43.
Right.
That one's
gonna pop up on your phone because hologram.
Like, because like a car pulled out.
What are you doing today? It's like some fucking crazy little hologram chick.
Yeah, but like a car pulled out, so then automatically your chip,
like Cortana from Halo.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like gonna be like a valet thing, like hey, you're going here, like right here. But the cars aren't gonna be like Bing 43 is open and the closest to your destination.
Right.
Bing park.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be like everything's gonna be mathematically sound. So, you guys have heard the argument, well, driverless cars aren't going to be that blah, 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 because people are still going to want to have the ability to drive, right? You've heard that argument, right?
Yeah, but also,
and I agree with that to
lazy.
And I agree with that to a certain extent, because I also think that VR is going to take over that, because you can, when you're when you're in your driverless car, you can imagine yourself driving a fucking race car in VR, and they're gonna have like the body sensors and shit that are gonna make you feel
the vibrations.
Yeah, that you're actually gonna feel that, and you're.
I feel like we should have smoked pot before this conversation.
Oh, I did.
Well, thanks for sharing, dude. Man, where was that?
I got the shitty pen in my fucking jacket, but it's not working
Still,
right now.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say.
But that's
still
that'd be fucking trippy. Like you get into like your little hub pod, and literally like you're in like
You're acting like
you're like
driving.
at Shields, like the race car track thing at Shields.
You think you're in the Daytona 500,
Yeah,
but really
dude.
you're going to work.
Dude, driving would be like the best thing ever. You're like, just take me
You
around
think
the
you're
city car.
fucking damn hard, dude.
But you know what some people are gonna do? I don't want to drive. Pornhub VR.
Well,
Ah, dude, why did you say that? Because now every morning when I drive to work,
exactly.
right?
I might be candidate number 1 for that.
I'll come into work with a big ass smile on my face. It's
Yeah,
like, what made
exactly.
you so happy? Well, Pornhub just installed
I
VR
love
in my
VR.
car.
I love
Yeah.
VR.
The excuse is gonna be, why are you late? Traffic. Sorry, VR. I was watching a YouTube clip in my car, and
Yeah.
I had to let it play out. It was too good. You watching Pornhub again? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hey,
Goddamn.
knock that shit off before work. Okay.
Hey, it makes me a happier employee.
Yeah. Why
I
do you
think
think
it
I walk
does.
in the door with a smile on my face
Yeah.
every day?
I
Dude?
Do you
walk
want
in
me
with
to
a
have
smile on my
twice as
face?
much testosterone as I usually do when I walk in this bitch?
Hey, I
All
walk in,
pissed off.
Yeah.
I walk in smiling, and it comes staying on my tummy,
And I'm
dude.
happy as a motherfucker.
No, dude, the VR systems will clean all that shit up.
VR, dude. Or I actually think AR, augmented reality, might
Yeah.
be the next one because so VR you get taken to a different reality, whatever, with
Right.
like goggles, but AR is like the Google glasses where you wear something, but then your reality becomes augmented. So
It's
like,
changing.
yeah, so you see like in the movies, excuse me, they have those floating screens where they fucking press shit and stuff.
Yeah.
That's
Ding,
just
ding,
a
ding, ding, ding.
yeah,
So that's
hologram.
AR then?
That's what AR would be.
Like
but it would
Tony
be-
Stark when he's building his fucking Iron Man suit,
Right.
he's like, trash this.
Exactly.
That's AR.
And that's
Oh,
what
shit.
AR, but it would be
Okay.
everything. So you can imagine it like, just if you had the glasses on, they could do it with like GPS. So like I was thinking about like gym stuff. You could have like a training center against every weight bench or whatever for a newcomer in a gym. You could go up if you didn't know anything and you press like tutorial or whatever to learn the lift. Next
Proper
to the fucking,
technique, yeah.
Right, next to the weight bench, you watch this bitch do it and then you go, okay, and then you go and do it. And
Yeah.
that's I think more of what's gonna happen. I hope, because I think that's a little less sinister than VR, where everybody
Yeah.
could just go and do their own world and whatever.
You're
the fuck
still
they
Any
want.
involved
Captain
in
America
shit,
or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Because who the fuck would want to come back to real life and be normal?
Yeah, that's the problem with VR. It's like
But
if
then,
you could
like-
strap on goggles and be
'Cause,
fucking
yeah.
Captain America,
Yeah.
why would you ever go to work?
Exactly.
Because like VR, it'd be like basically your society would turn into like everything is Oakland,
Right.
and you fucking take that shit off, and then you're looking like, dude, I live in a shithole. Whomp.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, fucking I'm in Park City,
Right,
bro, dude.
yeah.
Let's shred some gnar, and then
Exactly.
you're just standing there.
And you'd be
Oh.
you'd be a #1 pro at it. It's not even like you'd have to struggle in your virtual reality.
No.
You could make it. I'm a fucking Olympic gold medalist.
Everyone would
snowboarder.
be a Wally fucking VR fat person
right.
in their hover chair. Feed me.
Consciousness is weird, man.
Dude, that's where I got into my random thought. What was that? Like a month ago or something? I had a random thought of
I don't know.
like,
Yours are always so well thought out. Mine are always like, what if you jerked off into a plane and then the plane had your kid?
Is that possible?
It's I never said that, but it's an example.
it's one
It's
he's
around the area.
Like Troy comes in with these like whole philosophical things, and I just think of like, what if people,
What if your
saying,
plant was blooming and you jacked off into it and you had a plant baby and you couldn't take it out of the soil?
Would the flower change? I wonder.
Yeah.
dude.
would the flower blossom in a face of my own?
What if I played the music I like? Would it dance to it? Or would it just
Like
like
Root?
sit there?
Sorry.
No, my random thought like a couple months ago was like, obviously you're born as a person, but it's your consciousness that makes you who you are. Or basically, I guess you could take it in a greater essence of your soul.
No, absolutely.
So your consciousness is what makes you who you are. So my consciousness could have wound up in your body or Ryan's body or Dr. Clay's or whoever's body, and I might or might not have done the things I've done, but my consciousness is what makes me who I am. This is just the vehicle that drives it.
Right, of course.
So,
meat vehicle.
Yeah, the meat vehicle that drives it, but it's my consciousness. So that kind of brought me to the thought of like, well, how does your consciousness choose who you are? And then like maybe that's why people have such a hard time dealing with like death and things like that, because they're viewing as themselves as their meat vehicle. When I die, what happens to me? Well, your consciousness. So then I was like going back to that thought at work. I was like,
legends never die, dude. But continue.
Well, that's where I was going back into like at work. I was driving around like, okay, this is where I guess you could get into the reincarnation phase of like, well, your consciousness may never die. So then maybe your consciousness comes back to somebody else. But when your consciousness comes back, it is being raised by a different consciousness that has gone into something else and then has raised this person. So then your consciousness has basically Control Alt Delete everything from that past life, and you're being raised up. And
So
then
more
maybe so then maybe like some people like who believe in the reincarnation, like a part of it hasn't fully deleted, and like, you know what, I recognize like Riley's dad's they have a friend who believes in consciousness, and our consciousness, we have been multiple different animals and creatures and things, but what like we've realized is our consciousness has always drawn us back to each other.
Right.
No matter what we are, we've gone through different paths, different things, we've been different things, but somehow our consciousness is bound to that consciousness, ultimately yin yang kind of thing, and somehow we've found each other. And when we find each other, we've acknowledged we've been reincarnated.
Oh, okay.
And that our consciousness needs to be complete with the other one to be someone.
Oh.
So that's where, like, I guess you could see, not that I believe in reincarnation, but it makes it way more viable than like when I learned about it in high school. Like,
Right.
The reincarnation, Hindu, the Hindu
like if you're a shitty person, you'll be like a slug.
Exactly.
Yeah, like, but this, like, I think in my own mind, I took it to a deeper level of like, hey, well, I've come to the fact that my consciousness makes me who I am. When this body or this form dies, does my consciousness die?
Yeah.
Or does it just kind of exist, or does it go into a different culture entity?
I think it just kind of exists.
So like, yeah, obviously, like, your consciousness can't come from nowhere. It has to come from something. Just like an atom can't be created, it's got to be broken apart, but it's always there. It's something.
Right.
So maybe consciousness is floating around in different things.
I think that. I really.
This is where I was like, dude, we should get way high.
I think consciousness.
We could do like a 2-hour podcast just on consciousness, dude.
All right, here's a fun thought for you. All right. This is a thought experiment thought up of some guy, but here's my random thought for you. All right. Imagine that you're the omnipotent God, okay? You have everything at your power, right? You can make anything, you can do anything. And you make a world with a bunch of people, right? Okay. You start watching these people, they're having their experiences, but you live forever and you can have infinite experiences, right?
Okay. You go into like Duncan Trussell's, you live in a VR for 100,000 years.
No, kind of, but it's Duncan Trussell.
How long do you go gay?
Yeah.
Yeah, how long until
but it's
you're
a
like,
thought
you know what, I'm gonna
experiment.
stick this in Brad Pitt's butt.
But just imagine you were the omnipotent being, and you made the world, right?
Yeah.
And you saw these people having their experiences, but you had infinite experiences forever, right? And you had this. Well, sooner or later, if you started watching all your people that you made, you would want to understand one of their experiences, right? You would want to know what it would be like to become one of those people. And so you would go in and out. Right, and you'd go in and out because you want to feel what they're like, and then you'd come back out, and you'd go in and out.
And this is how you get an infinite consciousness.
Right, and but sooner or later, it would be an infinite experiences. You'd see all of them, and you'd go, I wonder what it would be like to experience one of their things, but not knowing that I'm the most omnipotent thing, not knowing that I can come back out, right? And that thought experiment leads you to thinking.
A part of you goes out, because obviously the other part
can never come back because you forget that you're the omnipotent being. Yeah,
because if you came in
and
as
that
the
leads you to think we are all God. And that was
oh my god,
exactly.
Dude. You know what? Next time you're on, dude, I'm gonna smoke pot. That shit is fucking crazy.
Dude, I think on the next one we all need to just get stoned and go into this consciousness thought.
I'm down. I'll bring it.
Yeah, dude, we'll say fuck baseball for however long we did it, and then dude, this shit, dude.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, dude, I feel like because when we like in high school, that one day that you learned about like the fourth dimension and shit,
dude, I was fucking.
You were tripping hard about it, and maybe it's like because I wasn't in that class, like I wasn't like about the fourth dimension. I was like, okay, like I'm not like dissing or anything, but like I didn't learn about it. I don't really give a shit, dude. Let's just talk about mundane bullshit. And I
Right.
knew it was mundane bullshit. I was like, dude, I didn't learn about the fourth dimension. I don't really give a fuck about the fourth dimension.
Right.
Let's talk about random bullshit that I'll forget about tomorrow.
Right. No, dude.
Because that was high school.
Right, but that was kind of like the intro to me actually getting into like space and cosmos and consciousness.
Yeah,
and
well,
all
that's
that
what I was
shit.
thinking. I was like, what kind of got me into this is like, part of it was like the JRE and like Neil deGrasse Tyson and Duncan Trussell and things like that. And I'm thinking
Duncan Trussell freaks me out.
because
funny.
when I had this thought,
like
I was
listening to
thinking
him.
about like consciousness. Yeah.
Dude,
What happens
Dude,
if
man.
you're like fucking in
come
the
on, man. Like, what if you put on some fucking goggles, dude?
bro? What if you were in like a VR?
I don't understand
for,
how
like,
a grown man can
100,000
have that
years?
fucking voice.
I know, I have a shitty ass voice, but it's manlier than
But,
Duncan's.
dude, you got a man voice. At least I know that you're. You
Yeah,
know,
at
it
least
sounds
at
like-
least when I
it's-
talk,
it's-
I sound kind of
right.
dumb, but you can tell I'm a guy. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You
Doesn't
can tell
sound
I'm
like
not
you're like,
12, bro.
I know. Dude. His voice is
Do
fucking.
you listen
hysterical.
to Chris D'Elia's podcast?
Mhm.
The Congratulations.
That's my favorite podcast.
Did you
of all
listen
time,
to his,
dude.
Really?
his newest
Oh,
one?
dude, it makes me laugh so hard. I'll be sitting at a red light listening to it in my car, and I will be crying, and people will be like, "What the
Dude,
fuck
I
is
like
this dude's
I
problem?"
like your mom's house with Tom
Dude,
Segura.
love
That's
His
my
mom's
second
house.
favorite.
Dude, it's
Their
stupid.
last one
It's
was really funny,
It's
actually.
exactly. It's stupid
Yeah.
shit, but it's so.
It's just like
fucking
farts
funny.
and
I
shit.
think, I think Joe Rogan is like my favorite just because of the wide spectrum he
Well,
covers. Because
yeah.
you never know what you're getting into. But for pure comedic, it's probably like your mom's house. or
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
I've been listening to a lot of comics podcasts, and those two are still,
Yeah.
Dude,
my favorite.
did you
Well-
listen to the newest Congratulations Back to Black?
Mm-mm. See, I only go
Back
in
in
and out.
Black?
Or
Okay.
Back in Black? But he does one where he's talking about like Akon. He's coming on the voice thing.
Oh, dude, you need to do it, man. You
He's talking
fucking
about
nail
Akon.
it.
He's like doing you know Akon's voice. You can pull it up in
Like,
your mind. Hey, just pull up like just a little. Hey, Dr. Play. Pull up a little bit of like an Akon song while I'm like bringing this into it. So he's talking about like he's got a song. And goes, dude, what fucking like what happened to Akon's like voice and shit? Like imagine just like a little 2-foot man coming out and he's just like,
Dude, that's exactly how Chris
That's how
D'Elia
D'Elia
did it.
did it.
too.
That's
It's
so
like-
funny.
oh yeah, pull up like an Akon song just like real quick.
It's-
So-
that's-
Wow, this hat has to play.
That's
Yeah.
exactly how he is, though.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try and mimic whatever he's saying, like in the Chris D'Elia Akon voice. Can we hear it? Ah, fucking.
Wow, there's a little bit.
It's a video.
Oh wow, this is a long intro, Akon.
Oh, here we go. No, when he's singing, I need some singing. Oh, I got it.
Dude, that's fucking.
Come back to
What's wrong with his left eye? Dude, that's funny. That's crazy. And I love Akon, man.
So I love Akon too, but when Chris D'Elia did it in that voice, I was like, "Fuck, he kind of does sound a little
he
bit
sounds like
that."
a little chipmunk.
He
yeah.
sounds no, he sounds like fucking Stitch, dude, from
Yeah.
Lilo and
Yeah,
Stitch.
when he goes,
Yeah.
imagine just like you're at an Akon concert and he comes out and he's like 2 feet tall, dude.
I'm stoked to see Akon, dude.
And he's holding the mic and it's like both arms just to hold that thing up and he's like rocking it like he's just chugging down a beer. Convict music. And then he just sets the mic down, holds on to it. Are you guys ready?
Oh man.
Smack that all on the floor.
Well,
Smack that.
We're talking shit that this guy makes.
Dude, hey, man, probably one of my gay songs coming up will be an Akon song.
He's got a white Bengal tiger. Owns one.
Yeah,
Really?
And he doesn't live in Texas.
Dude, Akon's baller, dude.
Dude, what happened to Akon?
He went to
felt-
jail.
and he's producing music now.
Yep.
He produces. He doesn't really sing or
Up in the jail
compose.
Fucking Akon.
Convict music.
Well, that and the rap game, quote unquote, is changing big time.
Oh, drastically, dude.
Migos is taking it to a different place.
Kendrick, though.
Kendrick,
is
dude,
still
okay.
putting it down.
Mm.
I heard this thing.
I
the
love
other day.
Kendrick Lamar.
well, speaking of, this is the anniversary of Biggie's death.
But I'm just talking
It
about,
is.
like, you see the flow of rap. All these other guys are
It's
going,
true,
the machine gun.
yeah,
like,
Machine Gun Kelly
cadence.
type stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that.
The
That's,
rhythmic pattern is more like.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, I heard this like argument the other day. Speaking of, it's the anniversary of Biggie's death. You're in the car, Biggie, Tupac hop in. And they're like, hey man, we've been gone for a while. Play me the most dope rapper of your, like, right now. Who's the most dope rapper? Who do you put on? That's what they want to listen to. Most you can't play 90s.
Guys,
They've all heard
one
the
of
90s.
two guys. It's got to be. It's obviously Kendrick or J. Cole.
I put on
I agree.
Kendrick. Yeah, I put on Kendrick.
I would put on Kendrick or Logic.
I'd probably put on the Kendrick.
I don't
Damn
I would
mind-
put on Kendrick, obviously, over.
I don't
Logic,
mind Logic. He was better before he needed to make a shit ton of money.
but- Right. Well,
Yeah.
me and Clay were talking about that for the podcast. Or
Mhm.
like his old shit was way better,
Of
but
course.
his new album's not bad. I don't love it as much as everyone else seems to love it, but
Mhm.
it's still good.
He said he's coming out with just one more,
We
right?
got one more after this, and then he's done.
Right.
Which I agree with. He probably should because
He has a podcast that he does with some guy, some other
Oh, really?
music guy.
Oh, shit, I didn't
and
know
they
that.
talk about the music game and all that shit.
yeah.
So.
No, he's really smart when it comes to fucking music.
Oh, he's
Oh,
just
shit,
an
yeah,
intelligent
dude.
guy. He's
Yeah.
a very intelligent human being, but he's also got a lot of mental health issues.
I
Yeah,
feel like
well, and he's
kinda
running
like-
out of shit, you know?
Yeah.
You can tell. You can tell he's kind of running out of shit.
Yeah,
But
no,
obviously, I do like his new album. It's not terrible.
There's a lot of guys who are running out of shit. I'm surprised Eminem's still trying to come out with shit. It's like, dude.
Yeah,
you-
Eminem's
But,
just
but
fucking...
if you
done
notice,
everything.
his new shit is taking longer to come out
Oh, of
than
course.
it used to.
It-
But
it
that's
has to.
it's the nature of the game.
Mhm.
God, his fucking wife is so hot. Logic's.
All right. Well, while we're on the topic of music and stuff, Ryan, how about you fade us into
right.
the
Yeah,
gay
we'll
song
wrap
of the
this
week?
shit
dude?
up.
We'll wrap this shit up.
Gay
Hey,
song of the week.
love to have you back on.
Shit.
We definitely needed to do it again.
We'll do
100%,
it again.
dude.
Absolutely. Just have me back. I love this shit.
Dude, one of our better podcasts of all time.
Well, thanks.
All time, dude.
Sorry to anybody who's listening about the baseball for 5.5 hours, but
That's,
hey,
well,
that's-
no, I
that's
like that.
when
We haven't
come
talked
on.
baseball in this
But you know
shit.
what? It's fun is it's like a random tangent, but it also had like shit about it. It wasn't
Mhm.
just like serious.
It was
like,
educational.
It wasn't like a serious baseball talk of like, oh, like I think the umpires need to like tighten up the strike zone. But it was fucking just good shit. dude.
Yeah,
Banter.
that's true. That's
It
true.
wasn't like pure baseball. It was fun. We went off on random tangents,
Right.
man. So, dude, honestly, one of the best podcasts we've had. For a while.
Thanks.
So,
I appreciate that.
dude, thanks for
We'll
coming.
have
on.
you back
Open
on.
invitation, dude. Come back.
Hell
Just
yeah.
let us know.
Just
All
let
right.
me know.
Ryan's
Fucking
gay
Gay
song of the week.
Here it is.
Here we got.
Oh, dude. PYT?
PYT,
Ah,
dude.
this is a good song.
It does have kind of a long intro, though. It's hard to find one that, like...
Until you hear it. Oh, I thought it was right there.
Well, see, that's the problem. Like, sometimes with, like, the gay songs of the week, you jam out to them when you get to them. But, like, you don't realize the intro that leads up getting into some of them.
Yeah.
Like, you ever had that? Like, you're showing your buddy, like, hey, man, check out this song. And it's like, you like the last, like, a minute of it.
But like
And
30
they're
seconds into it, you're like, well, just hold on. Just hold on.
And then they're like, how long am I hold on, dude? You built this thing up so fucking much. I'm over it.
It's about as,
and
that's
they're
as
like-
bad as when the loading thing comes onto a video.
Yeah,
It goes
well, and you're
30
like,
seconds
What do
into
you
it.
think? What do you think? You're like, it's alright, man. Like, I don't know. You fucking hyped it up like you jizzed in your pants when you heard it.
That's the problem. Too much anticipation, man.
Alright, fade that out, my brother.
Alright.
Fade that out. Thanks for watching Amateur Hour. As always, we'll be back twice a week. Thanks for coming on, Jake, dude. Gotta have you on again.
Thanks for
Loved
having me,
it, dude.
guys. I really enjoyed it.
Dude,
Can't wait to
loved
be
it.
back.
Yeah.
We out.